gunfire. George is rushed for medical treatment. However, her condition remains unknown. To some other news now, more than 18,000 students are expected to sit the secondary entrance assessment on Thursday, and the Trinidad and Tobago Electricity Commission is moving to ensure there are no power disruptions. TNTech says it will activate an additional hotline for school principals and supervisors to report any electricity outages or safety concerns at SCA centers. The hotline goes live from 8 a.m. on Wednesday and runs until 3 p.m. on exam day. Officials can call 794-4823 or 794-7264 for immediate assistance. The Commission's regular trouble lines, 800 bulb and 800 TTEC, will also remain available around the clock. TNTech has also confirmed there will be no planned power interruptions on exam day and extended best wishes to students sitting the assessment. In Tobago now, Secretary of Education Orlando Kerr and other officials hosted a press conference at the division's headquarters on Monday to update the public about the island's preparedness for the national exam. Secretary Kerr informed the media that secondary entrance assessment scripts were received and preparations are underway for the smooth execution of the examination on Thursday in Tobago.
Currently 1,005 students registered to sit the C exam in 2026 at 41 examination centers across Tobago. This year, there are 497 females and 508 males. 49 candidates are registered to write the C that will be housed at the Scarborough Secondary School. Those are the special private candidates. There are 49 of them. We have 20 students who have been granted special concessions. So far, we have 7 emergency approval.
In some sport now, on Monday, 2 3-member teams selected by the Tennis Association of Trinidad and Tobago departed for El Salvador, where they will compete at the 2026 ITF World Junior Tennis Pre-Qualifying event for the Central America and the Caribbean Games. Running from March 23rd to 30th, the tournament features the region's top under-14 male and female talents seeking to advance to the prestigious ITF World Junior Tennis Finals. On the girls' side, Makeda Bain, Suri Ramcharan and Samia Mohammed earned their places, while Josiah Hills, Justin Duncan and Eli Patty slot into the boys' team. Taking a look at the weather now, there'll be sunny and at times breezy conditions with a few showers during the afternoon. The odd shower may become moderate to heavy, especially over western areas. Seas are moderate with waves 1.5 to 2 meters. And that's what's making the news this morning. But joining us right now is Vamala Balkaran, the host of Trinidad and Tobago Today. Good morning, Vamala.
Good morning, Carrie. How are you on this fine Tuesday morning?
I know, right? I'm doing quite well so far. What about you?
I'm okay. I'm doing well.
That was TTT News on Talk City 91.1 FM.
Talk City 91.1. Thought-provoking conversations, bold perspectives, voices you trust. Talk City 91.1. Bigger, bolder, and more powerful than ever before.
Yes, Talk City 91.1 FM.
A brand new era of talk radio is here. With voices you know, trust, and respect. Get ready for an all-new lineup of the very best in talk. Andy Williams, Lennox Smith, Stephen Reese, Mr. X, Derek Charbodi, Roland Stewart, Sharon Farfan, Sudath Prasad, Heavy Duty, Alex Asing, Karen Francisco, Jerry Lean Lewis, Short Pants, and more of the voices shaping the national conversation. From hard-hitting current affairs to real community issues, culture, politics, social development, and the stories that matter most to you. This is where Trinidad and Tobago comes to talk.
It's all good right here on Talk City 91.1, where we're going to give you something new, something hot every day, Monday to Friday.
Listen on 91.1 FM and connect on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. Talk City 91.1. Your city, your voice.
When it matters, we're there, reporting the news as it happens, because your world can't wait. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
You can listen on Talk City 91.1 FM and stay connected on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok, wherever you are.
This is Destra, and you're listening to the Ground Report on Talk City. Keep it locked!
6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Join Andy Williams and Lennox Smith, the Ground Report team, as they rip apart the lies, half-truth, and misinformation that the mainstream media never discuss. The Ground Report. Hard-hitting, informative, undiluted, uncompromising, and unfiltered. Monday to Friday. Get the raw facts before making any life-changing decisions. Only on The Ground Report.
The ground report.
The government of Trinidad and Tobago is not closing down Petrotrin.
The ground report. The ground report.
I would think that there's been very clear that all the employees of Petrotrin will exit the company. All.
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
is with us, then what can stand against? And if our God is for us, then who could ever stop us? And if our God is with us, then what can stand against? Stand against.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Time check. It's 12 minutes past the hour of 6 o'clock, and you're listening to the Ground Report. Right here on Talk City, 91.1 FM. And you're also listening to us and viewing us on our several social media platforms. When you leave your taxis, your PH vehicles. Right on Facebook or on YouTube. You can view us and listen to us on Real Media TT on Facebook, Real Media TT on YouTube, Corridor Transformation on YouTube, The Ground Report on YouTube. Yes, The Ground Report on YouTube. 648 Television, Irvin. A pleasant good morning to you on YouTube. At Talk City, 91.1 FM on YouTube and on Facebook. Joel Arias, a pleasant good morning to you. Hey, Timothy Roberts, good morning. Chandra, good morning. Durat Pasada, pleasant good morning. Primraj, good morning. Mala. Yes, Mala, pleasant good morning to you. Hey, Anthony Ford, good morning to you. Kishan, good morning. Ban, where's my long time I see you? Where what have been doing? Being miserable still? Hey, Judith. Hey, Williams, good morning. Leon Charles, good morning to you. Nadira, how we going? You ain't like man, you know. I gotta get back TV for you to let me know what's going on. I'll find you on the low. Hey, Don Harilala. Good morning to you, my brother.
Open the eyes of the blind. There's no one.
Roll Passat, good morning. Butram John, good morning.
None like you.
Hey, Vidu, good morning to you.
Into the
Kanu and Marie, good morning.
out of your
Janu and Marie, good morning.
eyes. There's no one like you.
Hey, Pendera, pleasant good morning to you. Wendy and John, good morning. Groove Master Songs, a pleasant good morning to you. Carmen, good morning.
Our God is stronger. God, you are.
Ja Group, a pleasant good morning to you. Farmer Kane, Kim Fana, good morning. Sandra Lalo, where we are going, a pleasant good morning to you.
Awesome in power, our God.
Rinal, good morning.
Into the darkness you shine.
Hey, Jenny Bell, a pleasant good morning to you.
Out of the ashes we rise. There's no one like
Bina, good morning to you. Pamela Palu, good morning.
you.
Hey, Wendy and John, good morning to you. I haven't tell you all about morning quite a while. Just starting the program, eh? Jason Jeffers, good morning. How are you going? Rajpati, Ram Sarupa, pleasant good morning to you. Hey, Kenrick, how are you going? Kenrick Pasada, pleasant good morning to you. Natasha, good morning. Pesat Pasad, good morning. My dear friend, Anne-Marie Amin, a pleasant good morning to you. Just a pleasant good morning, Matilda Rhodes. Marilyn Sicharan, a pleasant good morning to you. Baby, my baby, a pleasant good morning. Teacher Balmain, good morning. Brian Wolf, boy, Well, I don't, you know what's going on there, but wait the hell. Shh. Boy, Lord have mercy. Rudal, good morning to you.
And if our God
This thing not looking good, boy, Brian.
who could ever stop us? And if our God is with us, then what can stand?
Michael Figaro, good morning. Eleanor, how are you going? Good morning. Ross, good morning.
Ever stop us? And if our God is with us, then
Ro, a pleasant good morning to you. Peter Samlal saying a pleasant good morning. Jillian John, good morning. Just School, good morning to you. Nigel Black, a pleasant good morning. Betty, good morning to you.
our God is greater.
Jamelia Khan, a pleasant good morning.
God, you are higher than any.
Anthony Haynes, good morning. Samantha, a pleasant good morning. Yo, Brady Bunch, good morning. Dave Maraz, good morning. Michael Scotland, good morning to you. Hafrina Mohammed, a pleasant good morning to you. 007, how are we going? Ryan Ali John, good morning. Ann Moon Sami, a pleasant good morning to you.
God, you are higher.
Sheldon, good morning to you. Mina, good morning.
Awesome in power, our God. Our God. And if
Boy.
God is for us, then who could ever stop us? And if our God
Papa, Otolda, good morning.
stand against, and if our God is for us, then who could ever stop us? And if our God is with us, then what can stand against? Stand against.
Oh Lord.
Okay. Papa, good morning. Glory. Good morning. Ram Killer One. Yeah, that name. Ram Killer One. Oh, that sounds like it's a long time name with somebody at a big grocery. A grocery or a hardware, boy. Ram Killer One. It sounded familiar, you know. A senior citizen like Lennox Smith might know that surname if it play any role. That senior fella, my co-host. No, remember you can't call them old and you have to call them senior citizens. That is be very offended with that, you know, Trinidad and Tobago. Don't ever say that word O, you know, O-L-D. Oh my God. Them have more sparks than anything, you know. They all of them seniors, man. Them are seniors. You know. Good morning to all in sundry. Damien, all of you. All who I missed out. All who now joining us. Good morning. I'm going to say a pleasant good morning to Director Times. A pleasant good morning to you. You will let us know too. What is Karen? Good morning. What is the situation with our yesterday, please God? Yeah. So you got that not now, but you got that in place. What played? What was the morning, the first, second, third, fourth numbers, and if we catch any. I don't believe we have
good morning, Andy. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Good morning, Lennox.
Yes. Good morning to you, Nigel Snipes. Lennox Senior Smith. Yeah, great boy. What do you say?
Well, unlike you, Andy, I don't use dye.
Oh God, but how you could say that over the radio, Lennox?
Well, you took liberty, as I'm not offended or in any way would curtail you from speaking. I think I have a duty as well to speak freely. So I've responded appropriately, I think, having regard to the fact that you have asked a very pertinent question, how I could say that. So it means, therefore, the statement is in the right
I don't
place.
die at all. I don't die, but I just want to know, well, how you could say that? There's thousands of people listening. They're hearing you saying, but I dying, but I don't die. But oh God,
I said, unlike you, And I think the essence of the statement speaks for itself. But that being as it may, or should I be more generic by saying, well, unlike others, I don't die, so you may be less offended, but if the cap fit, well, of course, I expect that you'll wear it. That being as it may, that being as it may, a pleasant good morning to all and sundry, east, west, north, south, central, in Trinidad, our friends in Tobago. Tobago, we need to hear from you a little more, having regard to some of the impending issues, quite apart from the C exam, quite apart from that removal, well, I should say officially, of that reader and personnel from the United States Army that were housed in Tobago. And of course, other developmental issues such as the autonomy for Tobago. I know that that is something that the present administration is very fervently and very, should I say, significantly pursuing, with, of course, the central government and maybe some of the added, should I say, authority that might have been given and recognition, to be more specific, when, of course, for the first time, the chief secretary was taken to a CARICOM meeting. I think those are significant development, and it speaks to a very good relationship between Trinidad and Tobago moving forward. So we want to hear from you in essence. Yes, indeed. And of course, wherever you are in the world, in the region, outside of Trinidad, pleasant good day to you, whatever time of the day it is in your neck of the woods, so to speak, because as you know, Trinidad and Jamaica have a different time zone. I think we're about a couple hours in front of them or behind them, as the case may be. I can't, don't hold me to it, but I know we have a different time scenario. That being as it may, yes, indeed, yesterday we were a bit, let's say, short of firm information with respect to two matters, and I told you yesterday that I would seek, and then of course I will comment in a more appropriate, but the veracity of what we are saying will not be nestled in skepticism or is subjected to ambiguity. Well, that day has arrived because with respect, of course, to the Hilton Hotel, remember we said that I would prefer to wait and hear from the government. Well, in a very indirect way, we have been able to glean some additional information. And what is that? That ETEC, which is responsible for that particular entity, Hilton, that's a state enterprise that was transferred to the Ministry of Legal Affairs, yes, under Saddam Hussein. Recently, I think just like last week, it was gazetted. And then, of course, when you read into the particular article, you would see that it was as a consequence of the very, what I consider to be discrepancy, for want of a better term, some differences in opinion, to be more specific, between the board of ETEC, who is indeed, I think, is the wife of the president of the Senate, Wayne Mark. Her name is Ms. Ramkusoon Mark, and that of the line minister of the Ministry of Trade, and Mr. Mirage. And it appears that instructions was given to, of course, pursue a particular course of action for the management of Hilton. That is what I've gleaned so far. And the response by the ETEC chairman is this: listen, you have to write to me formally indicating where these resources will be coming from to engage in a 400 million upgrade of Hilton. Yes, that is what we have learned from that particular matter that was aired yesterday. And because there was a resistance by the ministry to provide such a document. I think that led to and I'm assuming here, I'm in the state of conjecture here, the transfer, because there seem to be some kind of personality differences. But that being as it may, the situation is, according to the article, tense relations, and of course the media is saying that Mr. Mirage took issue with an audit as well conducted by the board, and therefore he made, according to the article, he made statement like it's not business as usual, and Ms. Ramkisoon, the chairperson, responded by saying that nothing why she is cognizant of her duties. The minister's action could have been construed as trespassing on the authority or the autonomy of the board. Further, she challenged his tone of engagement with the board and reminded him of the need to comply with the Public Procurement and Disposal of Public Property Act.
Who? All right, who?
Yes, and going forward.
Yeah, but who is that?
About the chairman of ETEC is telling the substantive minister, Mr. Mirage, that in a very formal way. So there seem to be some differences in opinion
between the minister and the chairman.
Yeah, and so that the cabinet took the decision to move ETEC from under the portfolio of the ministry that Mr. Mirage is responsible for, that is trade and other matters, to the legal affairs, where Saddam Hussein is the substantive minister. That's essentially what is there. And in the melee, you would understand now, in that scenario, the Hilton say, well, listen, the thing has not reached a certain standard, and therefore that, should I say, procrastination, that deferral scenario, we may well take the decision to get out of Trinidad as far as their franchise is concerned. So that is where we are at. Hopefully that things will be resolved, because there are others who are
dealing with Hilton
from the outside. Go ahead, go ahead before I talk about the outside.
Yeah, but dealing with Hilton, that portfolio was under ETEC. So it was under the trade.
ETEC is the state enterprise with that responsibility, and ETEC itself is under the Ministry of Trade.
Right. So under trade, that ETEC was responsible to deal with the Hilton situation.
That's right. Yes.
And why the decision was made to move it, you say?
Because there are differences in opinion on the process to do so.
The process to do what? To deal with
an allocation of 400 million for the repairs or for the refurbishment and so on. And of course, ETEC asks, well, you have to prove to me where the money. Give me a formal letter where the money is available, because of course it wasn't catered for in the budget. Those kinds of what I consider to be fiduciary and transparency, if you want to call it, and accountability issues that seem to have emerged as a consequence.
All right, but do you believe now that most chairmen of boards will be very, very particular now, knowing the recent outcome and engagement, which we can't go into it because you said we pre-judiciary, where we see in one of the papers, dailies there yesterday, that that board members of CPEP are being sued by the state for $1.4 billion. So will it now have a rippling effect where all chairmen now will want to cross their T's, dot their I's, because they see now whether a government minister, whether who or what, send whatever decision, if them only is to play, they're doing the wrong thing, that they will feel the full brunt of the law, while the people that might get them the green light or not in writing, this thing starting to reek, to me, it's a good. Because state enterprises and chairman now have to give their account. So it's a good. So it's more accountability and transparency and openness when it comes to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. But that could cause real problems too, politically, whereby eventually might have to see where chairman might end up getting moved and all them bacchanal thing by and how will this go? If you put a chairman in place, could you move them? Or if they don't,
everything could be removed, even a president, of course, and certain. But of course, there must be certain circumstances that the law outlines that provide the basis for such removal. I think in the case of these boards that of state enterprises generally, I think the government of the day could generally withdraw the appointment if they believe that person is unsuited for the position, having, of course, given them an appointment prior. We have to go for a break now, and when we come back, I'm sure that some people are sharpening up their chops. So thus, Dr. Rowley and persons like that, you see, have weighed in on the matter. They may or may not have been privy to what we know now. So you are knowing it now, and you will determine whether or not that creates a sort of stymieding of the movement forward, or is it that these enterprises should stand their ground on the basis of transparency and accountability and their fiduciary responsibility as we move forward, and whether and what impact it will have on the moving of Trinidad and Tobago forward, having regard to the portfolio that these entities have been mandated to execute on behalf of the people and the government.
Well, before we go for that break, Trinidad and Tobago, Lennox, it will be on you because I have some things to do behind the scenes here right now. Snipes will organize and put the Talk City signs in between or if it go. Oh boy, just get that bed just in case, just get that bed and everything, put everything in place. Oh boy. Right, and we will be accepting today WhatsApp voice notes. Well, I will send all the WhatsApp voice notes to the regular 366 and 3053. Send your WhatsApp voice notes. And just for today, while we deal with some things here, just for today, you all will organize, but not just for today, but you can always do that. But remember, we have lines for every occasion. We have enough lines for everybody. But today, you all will be calling in live on 622-4911. 622-4911. The studios of Talk City. Let's make sure and get your calls in there. Send all your voice notes at 366-3053. Director's times will play all. Okay? So let's get
yes, people. We are doing some adjustments, so bear with us. So you will call directly into the studio this morning at 622-4911, 622-4911. Just repeat, and 394-4911, 394-4911. And we'll take your call. Of course, the voice notes, well, you send it as normal, and we will play. Let's go for the break, and when we come back, more on this edition of the Ground Report.
But Johnny, how come your house is twice the size of mine, but my bill is twice the cost of yours? Johnny, what's going on, boy? How your bill so low? How your bill so low? I'm conserving energy. I switch your LED at the stun of the AC, and I'm saving real money. It's our responsibility for a brighter TNT. Cut the waste and you would see. Why everybody asking me? They asking how you been so low? How you been so low? TN Tech, powering the nation into the next generation.
Your news, anytime, anywhere. TTT News brings you the facts that matter most. On air and online. More ways to stay informed. TTT News covers the stories that matter. Join us nightly at 7. TTT News. Committed, accurate, relevant.
Hard questions, honest answers, real conversations from the ground up. If you want to know what's really happening, don't miss the Ground Report. Weekday mornings on Talk City 91.1.
This is Destra, and you're listening to the Ground Report on Talk City. Keep it locked.
Yes, indeed. Of course, we are back. We are back. Time check is just about 7 minutes to the hour of 7 o'clock. And, well, of course, as we said, you call this morning only the numbers in studio here, 622-4911, 622-4911, and the other one, of course, WhatsApp line, but nonetheless, we will get it here, 394-4911, 394-4911. Andy will be, of course, in and out, so to speak, as he takes care of other business relating to the efficaciousness or the efficiency of this program, because we always do our best to make certain that we deliver as much as we can and to inform you as much as is possible, humanly and otherwise, in order to make the correct decision when the time comes in your daily lives, and of course where national matters are concerned, close to or just about elections, etc. Cup Court in SOE net, yes indeed. So we have another police officer that has been subjected to the SOE special arrangement where a detention order was issued because it is claimed that he is providing or was providing information to criminal elements as to the operations of the police in terms of raids or potential raids and investigations and so on that could have caused persons to use their high power rifle and so on. Yeah, all that was mentioned in the article. I probably will read a portion of it for you. And that, of course, is something that the purpose of the SOE was designed to prevent. And so he is now in the subject of a preventive custody order under the SOE. There's another one, of course, a teen son of late Sealot's gang leader, among 3 killed. Yes, indeed, of course, Berkey, yes. Very, very unfortunate. When I read that, a sort of chill went down my spine. Young man, still at school, was out of the football team, maybe because of injury, trekked to his mother's place, who is not living in Sealot's. However, I think is in prison for being charged. Police haven't found a gun at the home, but he was there with the 2 other friends, and all 3 lost their lives in Penal. And I think that is something that we cannot celebrate at all. And it doesn't matter whether it was Berkey's son or not. It doesn't matter. It's a young. I think he's 19 years of age or something of that nature.
Very young man.
Very young. Yeah. And so it's really, really harrowing. And three of them, young people who, not even the prime, I would say, of their lives. I mean, they simply don't know anything, and then to lose your life in that way. And being at school, I think one of them have some 9 subjects as well, but finding it very difficult to get work. And so friends will be friends, irregardless. But I mean, it's very, very unfortunate. I understand that the assailants were disguised as police officers as well. So that impersonation continues to commit crime. and we must be very, very careful. I mean, that's a loud message to the young people in particular, that you have to be very, 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 very careful about the company that you keep and where you go. And it is, a time that you have to be very, 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 very careful. One cannot overemphasize that. THA, of course, puts 24 million derelict sanctuary villas for sale. Well, this one too, yesterday, I was a bit confused, frankly, as to one, whether or not it was recent, that development. Well, of course, I now know of the chronology or the history of that particular matter. That is put up for sale, but it was bought at around $24 million by the previous administration in 2023. And it was never used. I think when some of my information would have led me, my investigation would have led me to article or some issue relating to that particular property that was purchased, and questions surrounding it. Something similar to the Chevron property, where the bolt arrangement was made, where the private owner, somebody connected to the PNM, own it. The THA bought it for several $7 million and then lease it back to the original owners in order for them to build on it, and then the THA, I think, is left with a bill over time of over $300 million. I mean, it's pretty awesome in terms of the schemes that they would concoct in order to provide their persons who they prefer, and rather in a acute state of nepotism and cronyism, frankly, and political patronage that the PNM would have been engaged in over the years. Dr. Rory can say what he wants. The fact is that those are realities. And of course, the latest is in Trinidad, when the land, very prime land around the savannah, obliquely opposite Memorial Park, was vested in the private business of the contractor, a friend of Dr. Rowley. He claimed that he was a friend and a financer, talking about NH International, and then that very property being invested in a company designed to specifically get the bank to mortgage it in order to build the headquarters of the Ministry of Health. Yeah, and the state, you and I, must now pay the entire sum ultimately. So these things, I'm sure, will be attracting the attention of the current Attorney General, and as we have seen, CPEP is just the beginning, the nascent stage, the genesis, the beginning stage of these kinds of revelations that will be coming out and will be played out in the courts of this country, because it simply cannot continue like this. The lines are open, as I said, and we will continue to, of course, take your calls. The numbers to call, 622-4911. I think I've spoken enough. 622-4911. And then we have 394-9411. So we'll take your calls, and I don't forget, of course, to provide your voicemails. That will be forwarded to us here in studio, where we will be airing, if not all, but at least the majority of it. And don't forget, of course, we still have the Capiche at 7:15, and we have, of course, the word challenge of the day at 8:15, which, of course, I would be hosting, so to speak. So again, numbers to call. You have an opportunity. Andy is not here. I am here, and people, of course, like to accuse me of talking too much. So you have an opportunity to get on the program as early as possible and as elaborate as possible in order for your front burner or non-front burner issue to be aired. I know that the numbers may be new to some, so I'll just repeat them again. 622-4911, 622-4911, and the other number to call 394-4911. All right. We should have gotten a call by now. I wonder if people.
We had some people holding on, but they off the lines now.
All right, okay, they're off the
Give them
line.
a couple seconds ago.
All right, okay, so we have a call now. President, good morning. Welcome to the Ground Report. Good morning.
Good morning to you, Mr. Lennox.
Good morning to you.
Andy is there with you, the pitbull?
Yes, he's
in
the background.
Yes, he's in the background doing some work, you know.
Okay.
Our duty
Mr.
carries us
Snipes.
all over the place. Go ahead, yes.
Okay, Mr. Snipes. Okay. Now, I want to make a suggestion there, my brother, Mr. Lennox.
Go ahead.
I think the time has come for we to introduce mandatory boot camp for young people. Let me repeat. I think the time has come in Trinidad where the government not have to consider but mandatory boot camp from the age of 10. Because you see what's happening with crime and criminality and young people is gone down every day in this country. And I'm saying when we make it mandatory, for instance, because we have to deal not with the secondary level, but the primary school level. And from the time the teacher and the principal and staff pick up that child, because you remember at that fragile age, they would be able to pick up via the psychologist and whatever have you, that, okay, because you remember children tends to show certain attitude, certain behavioral pattern in school.
Yeah, you start seeing it from the age of 7. Yeah.
Sorry?
You start seeing it from the age of 7.
Thank you very much, Mr. Snipes. And you see where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
And I thank you for engaging me. And I'm saying, if we recognize from the age of 7, this is where I call on the Prime Minister, the Minister of Homeland Security, Roger Alexander. I know they have a lot of units. I think it's time. The time is right. Mandatory boot camp. And what you said, Mr. Snipes, from the age of 7. I think this year will deal with that errant homes, manhood, parenthood. I think this is the solution. Sometimes I'll say this before I take my leave. Sometimes we have to give that bitter pill, that bitter medicine, that Zevapic, in order to cure that cold. And I'm saying, to repeat myself, the time has come where the government have to hold the bull by its horn. Because you remember that horse would already bust the stable. And I'm saying the only thing left in Trinidad is mandatory boot camp, as what you said, Mr. Snipes, from 7. And I think this is the key. And I know the government personnel is listening. Perhaps the Honorable Prime Minister is listening too. And the ministers, yeah, and even Minister Wayne Sturge, together with Minister Roger Alexander, look with your technocrats, tweet it. It is time we bring a mandatory boot camp from the age of 7 based upon what Snipes said. Mr. Lennox, I would like to hear what is your take on this, because this is a good idea. It's a pertinent discussion, and I think there's where we need to go. Tabakita.
I ain't gonna lie, Lennox Smith. Mr. Tabakita have a good take. That is a good thing, that mandatory boot camp situation. Yeah.
Andy, you there?
Yeah, I said
yes, he's online at this time. Go ahead, Andy.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that is good. That thought is good, but the mandatory boot camps in order to pull it back together. But we would not get through with it being passed because we will still need a special majority because that is enforcing people rights now. So you will need the support of the opposition, the PNM, and we all know when it coming to criminality, when it coming to somehow trying to bring this country back on the right track, they're not supporting nothing good, nothing. Whether it be the ZUSO, whether it be what the dress, not supporting nothing. Based on helping bring back this country.
I'm glad you would have got it. And I'm glad
go ahead, Mr. Tabaki.
Let me say this before I leave.
Go ahead.
I think the government have educated and technical people that they must be able now to bring laws to the parliament where you do not need a special majority. And in this case, where you talk in terms of boot camp, let them bring it in such of a way that they do not need the opposition support. But as I take my leave, Andy, I heard you tonight. Lennox, I want to hear your take on this mandatory boot camp. I think this is where we have to go. Tabak it out enough. I thank you.
Yeah. All right. We have another call. Let's take as much call as we can. Of course, I will respond at the appropriate time. Good morning.
No other call yet.
Oh, no call yet. Yes, indeed. I think that should be one of the mechanisms that should be available to fight the scourge that we now possess. But I want to also remind that this has been bandied about sometime in the past, maybe about 10 years ago. And of course, the resistance to it, not just the politicians, but certainly the religious groups, those sections of the society that believe that why are you putting me in this maelstrom, in this mortar, when my kids are not so engaged, and therefore I think the entire thing would have collapsed. Of course, we have to look at the age at which that happens, because, you know, when you talk about 7 years, you're talking about children that are still in primary, at the primary level and kindergarten.
At 7, you would start to do your psychiatric evaluations and make sure that the child is all right. You're not going to take them at 7 and put them in a boot camp from 12.
I just want to make sure that we understand that. Because there must be a more mature age.
But you know, Lennox, he really did touch a nerve there, because I, from a young man growing up, I said, why don't we have national service? When I saw what was taking place with young people, young men especially in this country, I remember at one point in Trinidad here, we had youth camp. You know? We had youth camp that you would go to
but it wasn't mandatory.
It wasn't mandatory, and I think
it was voluntary.
At some point, if you're not qualified and if you're not able to academically make the grade, because we have to educate our population, you know, whether it be academics or whether it be by trade, at some point someone has to say, no, we would not allow you to fall by the wayside. You either come and serve in the military, or you go and learn a trade, or you serve in the military and learn a trade. Something has to be done to save
But as Andy rightly said, the whole question of mandatory, and there are some constitutional parameters
because
that
of our democracy, of course,
must be so engaged. But I also want to look at the whole question of other areas. We go to the line. Good morning. Welcome to the Ground Report. Good morning. Lost that one? Yes. Because we have some other mechanisms that exist right now. In fact, most recently, we talk about parental responsibility laws, and whether or not parents should be vicariously responsible for their child's delinquent behavior. We have all of that. It is hoped that it would have been so stringent and impacting on the parents that they will now monitor where the child goes, who the child associates with, and all of that, whether in what I consider to be downtrodden or depressed communities, or put more specifically what the police describe as crime hotspots areas. But today, you cannot talk crime hotspots in any generic way or any specific way, simply because you never could tell. It appears that it is a ubiquitous scenario. All schools, whether it be prestige or otherwise, are reeling from delinquency and indiscipline and violence, etc. All without exception. Of course, there are those who could hide it better than others for reputational reasons. But we know that exists because the society, as the Prime Minister rightly said, has evolved into a very, what I consider to be, hostile one in terms of the violence and the response, or should I say the use of violence to settle disputes and matters. And of course, the manifestation or the greatest or the apex of that really is gang warfare and the borderline issues that are really dedicated, or should I say circumscribed within these so-called crime hotspots and in the poorer communities of the country. But the fact of the matter is that it is a reality, and it is affecting the economic survivability, the economic expansion, the opportunity for generating employment opportunities. I said that, and I focused on that last night on the corridor transmission. I want to apologize immediately to those persons who were not able to call in. I saw a lot of calls coming in, but we had a challenge there, one, and I thought I should have a monologue to, of course, say how we are going to be going forward from tomorrow, from today, sorry, as far as the corridor transformation is concerned. I thought I should just put in that. Don't forget the numbers to call. We are in studio. You will not be able to get the other numbers where Andy is in charge or in control of. So I wanted to share with you again the numbers to call: 622-4911, 622-4911, right here on Talk City. We have a call there. All right, and then we have as well 394-4911, 394-4911. Yes, so these are some of the
394-4911. I would allow you to make WhatsApp calls there as well.
What's great. So you can put in your voicemail in that as well.
You can.
Okay,
yeah.
right, beautiful. All right. So let's look at some of the other issues. Home of murdered businessman's son riddled with bullets. Well, we did discuss that yesterday, but it's all in line with the theme of the violence and associated with the young people in particular, and how do we address this matter. And I think the first topic that came up with respect to ETEC and Hilton, and we saw, of course, behind the scenes where decision makers, persons on board, the chairman of ETEC, is saying categorically, listen, you're not going to have me engage in a particular activity that will impugn my integrity, having regard, of course, to what has happened with the previous CPEP board and the fact that they are now facing, of course, a civil action pursued by the state. So all of those are part of the mix. Let's go as well, of course, the U.S. soldiers depart Tobago. That is another issue that you probably can look at and want to investigate. We Grandy residents uneasy after Guerra's murder. Well, that is in connection with the son.
And that saga continues, huh?
Yeah.
As a matter
at one time I thought the three killings was as a consequence of that, but I realized it's two separate and distinct matters. One in Penal and connected, by extension to Sealots, and then you have, of course, one in Grandy. And then you have this additional shooting of the sons.
So we're heading up to the news?
Yes, we head up to the news, yes. Let's go for the news, of course, the 7 o'clock news, TDT News. And when we come back, more live and direct from the studios of Talk City 91.1.
Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. Making the news at this time. Cultural shifts are needed towards skills training. Minister of Tertiary Education and Skills Training, Professor Prakash Prasad, said this is especially important for the advancement of education in the region. Professor Prasad was delivering the keynote address as CARICOM advances the development of a framework for micro-credentials under the Caribbean Region Registry Roadmap.
As a cultural thing, we need to look at this in the Caribbean, that, hierarchy is still very important. All jobs are important. All jobs are important. And therefore, we should have that cultural change. So part of making micro-credential important and acceptable, and especially with regard to skills trading, we need to know and put this education out there that it is important, just as important.
Micro-credentials are short, focused, and often digital certifications that validate proficiency in a specific skill or competency. The proposed framework aims to create a cohesive, inclusive, and transformational response to learning at the tertiary level. Professor Prasad noted that the cultural mental shift towards skills training is essential if Caribbean education systems are to remain relevant and future-ready.
See, for too long, we have this idea that young people, they have to give up their lives to go to university for 3 and 4 years, study day and night to get a degree. So in effect, you reduce your living. Micro-credentials allows you to live with your family, have, in other words, in a broad way, education and living balance, life balance, and education balance. This is what we need.
The Commonwealth of Learning, in partnership with CARICOM and hosted by the Ministry of Tertiary Education and Skills Training in Trinidad and Tobago, will host discussions over the next 2 days to finalize the framework. In other news, the government of Trinidad and Tobago is reaffirming that the nation remains open for business. This comes as the Trinidad and Tobago Manufacturers Association hosted an inward trade mission on Monday, welcoming delegates from Martinique, Guadeloupe, and French Guiana. The TTMA's Doing Business in TNT seminar is focused on deepening economic and cultural connections between Trinidad and Tobago and the French Caribbean. Acting Director of Trade Facilitation at the Ministry of Trade, Investment and Tourism, Neville Alexander, emphasized that building strong and dependable trade partnerships is critical to the country's ongoing development and economic diversification.
Also want to encourage deeper collaboration in services, particularly tourism services. Travel between Trinidad and the islands, such as Martinique, for instance, has been growing. It is our desire to further deepen our engagement in these areas as we seek to develop niches such as yachting, medical, sport, business, and ecotourism areas as potential drivers for the services sector ourselves.
President of TTMA, Dale Parson, emphasized the importance of creating opportunities for entrepreneurs and strengthening support for small and medium-sized enterprises.
To empower SMEs, let us focus on the backbone of our economies, small and medium enterprises, by facilitating partnerships and reducing barriers for entrepreneurs. We can create meaningful economic participation.
The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service carried out a major anti-crime exercise in the southwest, leading to multiple arrests and the seizure of illegal firearms and ammunition. The operation, dubbed Operation Chopper, occurred over the weekend across the Point Fortin and Guapo districts. Acting under emergency powers regulations, officers conducted targeted searches at several locations linked to persons of interest. Police seized a shotgun, 7 12-gauge cartridges, and 2 rounds of 9mm ammunition. 2 people were arrested for firearm and ammunition possession, while a third was held for ammunition offenses. In some sport now, the West Indies women's cricket team has been fined following their T20 international opener against Australia in St. Vincent and the Grenadines on Thursday. Captain Hayley Matthews and her side were docked 10% of their match fees after finishing 2 overs short of the required over rate. Match referee Rion King ruled the side fell 2 overs short of their target even after time allowances, triggering an ICC Code of Conduct sanction that cost players 5% of their match fee per over. The result, a 10% fine across the squad. Captain Hayley Matthews accepted responsibility and pleaded guilty to the charge, avoiding a formal hearing. The offence was brought on by field umpires Lauren Agenbag and Jacqueline Williams, third umpire Candice Laborde, and fourth umpire Maria Abbott. In the weather forecast now, there will be sunny and at times breezy conditions with a few showers during the afternoon. The odd shower may become moderate to heavy, especially over western areas. Seas are moderate with waves 1.5 to 2 meters in open waters and up to 1 meter in sheltered areas. And that's what's making the news at this time, but after the break, we return to Trinidad and Tobago today.
Your world moves fast, so do we. TTT News brings you the people, events, and issues that matter most. Stay informed, stay ahead. TTT News, every night at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Every morning begins with a story, the headlines you need, the voices you trust, the conversations shaping our nation. Welcome to Trinidad and Tobago Today, where your day starts informed and inspired. News that matters to you, conversations that spark new ideas, stories that move Trinidad and Tobago forward. Tune in weekdays, Monday to Friday at 6 a.m. or join the conversation on any smart device at TNT Today Show. Trinidad and Tobago Today. Start here, exclusively on TTT.
From the road to the radio. Talk City 91.1.
This is Destra, and you're listening to the Ground Report on Talk City. Keep it locked.
Yes, indeed, of course. So we are back. Time check is just about 7 minutes past the hour of, closer to 9 minutes past the hour of 7 o'clock. Of course, Andy will be intermittently joining us. He is engaged in matters of improvement, let me put it that way. You know, we always strive for greater heights under the ground report. We lead and others follow in more ways than one.
Andy right here. Andy right here.
Indeed,
Andy
yes,
right here.
I just said that you
Yeah, so Andy right here.
intermittently. That's what I said. So
Yes.
I'm saying you are there, but you will join us from time to time.
Yeah, but you have to say it like how I go say it, man. When we starting off the program there, you have to say, we are back. Time check. Yeah, with a little thing. It's 8 minutes past the hour of 7 o'clock.
I just said that, Andy. You would.
But you say it kind of lay back. You have to say it with vibrancy.
You're talking as if you wasn't there. I wonder if you was there.
No, that is what I think. I hear you saying it too. Not vibrant. You have to say it with vibrancy, man. Say it as a young person, like a youth.
Yeah, all right. Well, you have ascribed yourself as a youth, and you said that I am a little older, so you would appreciate that I will be a bit much more circumspect, right? So don't
this man is easy, boy.
Don't rush me now. Don't rush me, please. Right? When your turn at decrease, clearly you do your thing because of course everybody has their own way of doing things, I suppose. That being as it may, of course, the numbers to call 622-4911 only for today. 622-4911 directly Talk City, and of course 394-4911 WhatsApp as well. I don't know if we have any WhatsApp. Andy, we have any WhatsApp?
That organize and send some WhatsApp, man. Same 366-3053. I sent one to Snipes so far. Yeah, I sent one to Snipes so far. So you all don't forget to send your WhatsApp contribution at 366-3053. 366-3053. Make sure to send your WhatsApp contribution. And by the meanwhile, don't forget at 15:15, the pitbull mark for the day. Yeah, man, we had to hear who won yesterday. What is the situation? Yeah, because I know you play. I know Lennox Smith play, so let me don't go there yet. Because he's losing out. He's losing out big time. Yeah.
this man presumptuous, but I suppose that's the pit bull. So you expect that kind of rugged approach to any matter at all, because he wants me to say we are back, and the time check is now 9 minutes past or 7 o'clock. That's what he wants me to say. No, I could, but it, but it would be an impersonation. It wouldn't be natural Lennox Smith. So to each his own, so to speak. But that being as it may, the lines.
Let's go to the voice note.
Oh, let's get the vote. All right.
Andy, good morning to you, Lennox, Mikey, Nigel, and to everybody out there. You know, I don't know how people could be so dishonest and disingenuous, you know. Busman so loved Julian John. He want Julian John to take over everything. But yet still, he has not acknowledged or recognized how much work Julian John has done as yet as the Minister of Works. Julie John told us how many potholes and everything that she has patched. And this man coming to say that this government is there a year, not a year yet, you know, but a year, and they have not done anything in the country. That man is so dishonest. And are we paying property tax? Didn't they strengthen the children's life fund so that parents wouldn't have to be begging with calabash all over the place to raise funds for their children, among other things? You see, that is why we are here to correct the misinformation some of these people are putting out. And I have a challenge for Lennox. Please tell us what is the correct pronunciation for Malize. Thanks.
I feel like we heard that voice.
Yesterday, yes. Yeah. So it would have been a repeat. But nonetheless, of course, let me just repeat my response. Balizia. Not Balizé. Balizia. Balizia. I omitted, of course, to find out where the origin is from, but it's songs, French songs, a bit Italian kind of thing. But of course, I'll get it eventually. But the fact is that the lines are open. Of course, 622-4911, 622-4911, and 394-4911, 394-4911. And of course, Andy will be in touch with us intermittently.
It's just about time for us to go into.
All right, Andy's capiche. Andy, you better give us it.
Yes.
People relying on you.
It's just about time to go.
Yeah.
To the
nice.
Andy asked me
Trinidad and Tobago
to give you guys what
played yesterday.
What played yesterday.
Okay.
You know, so at 10 a.m. we had 36. At 1 p.m. we had 35. At 4 p.m. we had the number 7, and at 7 p.m. Which is the final draw for the day, we had the number 21. Going back to the marks that we got yesterday inside the capiche, we had number 1 centipede, number 18 waterboat, 12 king, 13 crapo, and Andy's capiche was number 14.
And that came, you're saying? Or what came?
No, we did.
None
of the numbers came yesterday.
Okay. All right.
The winning numbers were 36 at 10 a.m., at 1 p.m. 35, at 4 p.m. 7, and at 7 p.m. number 21.
All right, people, this feature, of course, is brought courtesy NLCB.
So it's time for you to call in and give us your... We're taking 4 calls.
Yes. Give us
only make sure and do that, man. Here we're going. I feel today go be because I can understand it. Where's jealousy? Somebody realize that we have been predicting all the marks and them. So I just throw out what I think will be my capiche mark today, you know. We winning all the marks. And somebody have a kind of eye. So today we tying ourselves with blue. You know, when you have a garden, you put a blue bottle, blue this, blue that. Only make sure you put something blue on all here. Make sure. Because somebody jealous of your all winnings and the capiche right here on the ground report. So they tried to stop me yesterday, but today they ain't holding me back. So I let them remind me, don't let them tell me, what is that? Jealousy. One number is that, or they got to tell me in the different numbers that makes up jealousy. that Obeah or something like the walking Obeah to
All
stop
right,
me from.
let's get the interpretation. Good morning. We lost that one. But of course, call in and give us your number for the day that we will announce. Good morning. I hope it's not a technical problem on this side. But yes, so your duty now is to, of course, we'll take about four numbers, 4 persons. Call in, give us your number, of course, and Andy will give his capiche, so to speak. This is the capiche moment, courtesy, of course, NLCB. Yes, the first time you have, of course, a company that is urging you to get their money. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
I get an echo. Yeah, you hearing me?
Yes, loud and clear. Loud and clear. What's your number for the day?
All right. Is the number?
Yes.
Okay, but I just said maybe I'll call back then.
All right, okay. She doesn't feel lucky today. Good morning. What's your number for today? Lost that one. Yes. This segment is for those persons who feel that for one reason or another
They have the capiche.
you have the number for today. Yes,
You maybe walk out in the yard this morning and you saw a centipede, or you was cleaning the garden, you saw a little snake.
I remember a fella in Laverton, he threw some crappo in somebody's yard and to make them feel look he's a Obia man. And they gave him that kudos. So he told me this is a fact. He told me that he used to sleep in a coffin and so on to materialize that kind of, or to project that kind of
Energy.
image. Yeah, the
Hello,
image.
welcome.
Good morning.
Hello, morning. The mark for today is 29.
29. Okay, so thank you very much for that one. Yes, that's one. We want to get 3 more, and Andy will give his. So we conclude this segment, courtesy NLCB. I was making the point that here it is, you have a company that, of course, is sponsoring something that encouraging you to take money from them. I love it. I suppose that's why Andy loved the capiche so much, because it's about a company that is encouraging you to, of course, take money from them. So let's get 3 others, and then we will move on to your front burner issue and whatever you have to share with us today on the ground report. Andy, as I said, will be with us intermittently for the entire program, but certainly he will be in for the capiche. We have a caller. Good morning. Morning?
No call yet.
No call yet. All right, yes. So, like, Ole win enough or what? Well, if Ole win enough, I ain't win enough yet, so... Because I ain't say what. Oh, okay. So that's a call? WhatsApp call? All right. Good morning. Good morning. Yes, just stay away. Just move away from your device, so it doesn't echo.
Right.
Yeah. Or reverberate.
I must say, I'm a beautiful 77-year-old, and I am looking at Queen today. 24.
24. Beautiful. That's beautiful.
Have a blessed day.
Same to you.
I won 21. I won 21 yesterday for $5.
Ah, wonderful.
I don't know how much money I'm supposed to collect.
Oh yeah, because you are like me. You're totally ignorant of what the process is.
Tell me if I'm supposed to get 2,000.
I hear you. We have to, maybe when one of the callers call in who are the regulars in terms of being familiar with that.
They would be able to assist
you. Yeah, to assist. But I personally can't. I have not been focused on that at all.
Thank you.
But thanks very much for your what? What's
Queen 24.
24, right? Queen. All right, so we got Queen and we got one before. What was the one before?
The one before was 29.
29. And what was that? What does that symbolize?
It's 29 horse? Let me check for you.
And tell us what it symbolizes as well, because Andy want to know what is jealousy in in the playway stack, so to speak. I am totally out of it in terms of that. So those of you who are more aware than
Yeah,
me.
so Trinidad and Tobago, come on, check your check the voice notes there. I think 2 people send their marks via voice notes and all those various things. And only don't forget, I want to know what is jealousy. We was winning all the time.
We have it. We have somebody on. Go ahead, caller.
Good morning, Andy. Good morning, Director Snelson Lennox.
Good morning.
Lennox, I was advised to Capital to play a mark because I would have won that mark yesterday because they played 36 and they played 21.
Oh my goodness. All right, what is yours this morning?
They played 36 and 21. You know what it's called that?
Where's that?
I can't say it in the airways.
Okay, I hear you, but just give us the number if it is a number. Yeah, all right.
What number you choosing today? He's gone. He's looking for numbers today.
He's looking for numbers.
He's looking for numbers today.
All right. Remember when you call in this segment, you give a number, and of course you very briefly why so that people will have an appreciation.
We have space for 2 more numbers.
Space for 2 more. Well,
2 more numbers. Yeah.
Beautiful. So just 2 more before we ask Andy to give his capiche, and then we will move on.
Check the voice notes and see if you get any numbers from voice notes.
Let's go.
Good morning, Andy. Good morning, Lennox. Good morning, Director Snipes. And I only gain mark. I was advised for Capital. I want more money to play mark. I can't give me nation no mark and me can't play no mark. I was advised for Capital.
Well, I suppose, gentlemen, I suppose.
Yeah, my mark for today, boy.
Okay, we have one.
Is 30, boy.
30?
Yeah, 30. Okay. I'll go with 30 today.
Okay.
Right? Morning, Ground Reporters. Morning, Andy, and morning, Lennox.
Thank you very much.
30, I'll go
what that
30,
mean?
boy.
What that symbolize? Yeah? House cat. All right. It says house cat. All right. And anybody out there who could satisfy Andy's request, he wants to know what jealousy is in terms of the playway.
You can give them numbers again.
Yes, indeed, of course. The numbers to call in, don't forget, only this morning, 622-4911, 622-4911. Talk City, right here, you'll get us direct. And, of course, the other number, WhatsApp, 394-4911, 394-4911. And you can still, of course, send something to Andy by way of WhatsApp, which is the 366-3053, which you are much more familiar with, those of you who are the regulars. So 366-3053 if you want to send a WhatsApp note, and we will play it here for you on Talk City 91.1. Yes, indeed, of course, we need one more.
Final.
Yes, what's the number?
My number, boy, Lennox morning, Andy, is 32.
Morning.
What's that?
32. Money.
Oh, 32. Money. All right.
Money.
And you know why I bought in money? I see Brian Manning's wife making a lot of money from NGC, $125 US per hour.
Right.
And a fella from Tobago named Jack, a PNM man, was making $70,000 a month. They're trying to fight down Duke with the oil consultancy, so the Mark Boss story jump out. Brian Manning wife getting U.S. foreign exchange, $125 an hour. She made $1.7 million on taxpayers' head. Joel Jack make $1 million on taxpayer head. CNN, that is how the freezing and abusing taxpayers' money.
Yeah. What is it dark, as the old people would say, would come to light eventually, because it simply cannot. You cannot hide that. Good morning.
All right, so the final here.
We have a
final here is Andy to give his.
So we have 4 now. We have 4. All right, good. So we have 4 numbers, and Andy, your capiche before we move on.
Yeah. I find everywhere you look is dead, shoot, dead, shoot. Bodies dropping. So I feel they said dead man this before. I think they said dead man is 4. So I feel I go look at dead man today.
All right.
4.
And in fact, by sheer accident, I think that is what we were talking, whether directly or indirectly, because we had this, of course, situation in Grandy. We had the situation in Penal with three young people losing their lives. And the other one that I would want to address, apart from the scare of the people in Grandy, we also have the situation where this budding or this potential cricketer, her funeral was executed only, I think, yesterday or the day before. Tragic death, and a female at that cricketer, a female cricketer who lost her life as well. So maybe you may just be correct when the balls are rolled and the pronouncements would have been made. Yes, indeed. So we have come to the end of this segment. Miss Woodbrook, I observed that voice. You can call back now and give your contribution. Having called earlier, not recognizing that the segment of Andy's Capich was in session. So you can call back.
Well, all right. So today, Trinidad and Tobago, we will be very, very lucky today. Yesterday, unfortunately, with Andy's Capich or with the playway, somebody give you a blue eye. So today, make sure they wrap something blue on all it. Put something blue on all it before you play, or walk with a garlic in your pocket. All you hear that? Because we have to break that zombie that stop that one time we ain't win something. So let's make sure to do that. So what we're going to do by the meanwhile, before we come back into the current affairs, get them it, and then we go for the break and come back, and then we go take some calls.
All right, so the marks for today inside our capiche. Number 29, Opiaman. That's number 29, Opiaman. 24, Queen. Number 24, Queen. Number 30, House Cat. Number 30, House Cat. And number 32, Shrimp. And of course, the capiche for today, given by Andy, is 4, Dead Man.
Dead Man. Wow. Let's go for the break. And when we come back, more on this edition of the Ground Report.
Your stories, your communities, your country. TTT News is everywhere, on the ground, across Trinidad and Tobago, and on every smart device. When it matters, we're there, reporting the news as it happens. Because your world can't wait. Your world moves fast, so do we. TTT News brings you the people, events, and issues that matter most. Stay informed, stay ahead. TTT News, every night at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Any views or opinions expressed on the Ground Report are solely those of the hosts and callers and do not represent the views, policies, or official position of Talk City 91.1, its management, or affiliates.
This is Destra. Right now you're listening to Talk City 91.1. Keep it locked.
Hard questions, honest answers, real conversations from the ground up. If you want to know what's really happening, don't miss the Ground Report. Weekday mornings on Talk City 91.1.
Yes, indeed. Of course, we are back. Time check is just about 30 minutes past the hour of 7 o'clock. And we continue, of course, not only to take your calls, but to address, I think, the elephant in the atmosphere, frankly, as to solutions. We are in a state of emergency, but yet still we are seeing the uncomfortable array and execution of people, and one have to focus therefore on what next, what more can we do. And I think this morning's discussion seemed to identify and is looking for solutions in that direction, in addition to that which would have been given by. So what we know for sure, as I said last night, that this thing is not a police solution on a sustainable basis mission. It has to be a all of society, not a all of government, a all of society, of which government plays a part. But the sustainable addressing of this problem lies with the people within the society, and in particular within those communities that are most affected, whether as perpetrators or whether as victims.
I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but what I'm watching too before my director Snipes asks that question is that at this point in time, while it have a state of emergency, at this point in time, it's like the wild west, and having a state of emergency, knowing that it's the wild west at this point in time, because you see from a businessman to the son home getting attacked, then now you see in one of the supervisors and all get gunned down yesterday, and then you see the soldier get killed, and then they just keep going, it just keep going and going. What do you believe the state should try to do now, or would the ZUSO bill back then would have been able to help that, or not necessary? Because we're talking about curving it to the extent where people could we trying to curve it to the extent the detail where whoever decide so emboldened within the SOE that they could organize still and be so brave in the SOE. So is it that they just don't care? Is it that the state really fail when it comes into crime, and that anybody could die in Trinidad and Tobago? Have we reached that stage where anybody could die anytime and nobody would not be catched? And even if they got a politician, that nobody would not be catched or however it go, because it really and truly very worrying at this point in time. So I just throw out that aspect of this whole set of dead that going on in the country at this point in time. You have Director Snipes, you could go ahead.
I was about to ask Lennox or anyone that is locked on right now, is it possible for the government to put certain bills on the back seat and bring forward legislation to actually deal with it? I mean, just put everything else on the back seat and deal with this at this specific time. Or would it be a case where they would decide on something and we would end up in a situation again where they would need a special majority to pass these bills? Because again, I think one of the aspects of these also would have been able to lock down that particular area in which the crime seems to be escalating. And we have seen so far in that Grandy area where because of the incident of this businessman being killed, you have a lot of things spiraling out of that one situation in that area.
Revenge killings, the entire community. And while she was speaking there, I was drawn to the fact that here it is, you have two distinct communities, but are traumatized. Penal on the one hand, with those 3 young people being killed, and then Sangre Grande, miles apart. And it suggests that the thing is almost universal. The thing is almost ubiquitous, almost, where anywhere you go, and Andy raised a very valid question, and that is whether or not it is so ingrained, is so prolific that anybody could lose their life at any time for one reason or another, simply because of the frequency of these kinds of acts. Well, we are looking for a solution. And of course, you mentioned the ZOSO. I am of the firm view, and I extrapolated and elaborated last night on the corridor, that I am satisfied that the non-presence of ZOSO certainly would have taken away an opportunity for the first time where those elements that, in spite of the trauma, in spite of the challenges, in spite of the presence of the negative elements, criminals, gangs, borderline issues, people are intent on engaging, in spite of all of that, there are people there who are prepared to risk life and limb. And I put myself in that category as well, because I could have been the victim in the first murder for 2026, right at the corner of George and Duke Street, because if the weapon that done something as I might have been not targeted, but
let's take this
find
call.
myself not here. But let's go to the lines. President, good morning. We're trying to generate solutions, people. Good morning.
Morning, Andy. Morning, Lennox. Morning, Snipe.
Yes, good morning.
Now we talk about these Zoso, right?
Yes.
And we talk about they would have been able to lock down the community, but we under SOE, which is higher which would have been higher than the Zoso. So what is stopping the security team from locking down the area? Let me say Sandy Grandy, which we see in killings. What is stopping them from going into Grandy the same way if it has Zoso, from locking down the community, finding out what's going on with these fellas and them up there? What is the problem? What is the cause? It don't have no difference really, you know. They could do the same thing.
Is it that at this stage they don't have the information, so the detectives are weak in performing their duties?
Well, like I'm saying, because if the Zoso now we say could lock down our community, remember our detection rate is very low and have been so for many years. Whether the murder rate high or low, the detection rate is at its lowest point. Right? So this is where they have to gather intelligence now to get these criminals, and the police service that are low right now. Nobody's want to talk to the police. Nobody wants to have nothing to the police. So there's some people that are just watching the community go down and then saying nothing because they can't trust the police.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what kind of solution they could come up with. They could say, all right, we're setting up people, let me have jobs in Sandy Grandy, let me have jobs in these places, but I don't think that would stop it because the criminals really don't want to work.
No, they don't.
They don't want. So you can set up how much jobs if you want and say we open up this program, that program, the criminals not going. Because that is their job. They could be a criminal selling wares and making their money outside, because when they go for a job, you're working for 200 a day. When you're a criminal, it's thousands a day. So they ain't going to change. We need the intelligence-driven policing. Get the criminals, get down in there, find out who committing the crimes and deal with them. That's what they need to do.
Thank you.
All right, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
Let's go again.
We have another call. Go ahead, caller, because we give way to you.
Hello.
We're looking
Good
for
morning.
solutions. Good morning. Yes.
I have a feedback.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you said you want solution-driven solution point.
Yeah, what is
here?
What is existential appear not to be effective as we would like.
Right. So let me come up with this solution. I think in selecting a commissioner of police, and this is my opinion here, we give you a 3-month probation. And if within that 3 months, 6 months, you did not perform, we're going to remove you. You see, I'll tell you why. If we're dealing with crime and criminality, and the police is in charge of that, and the head of it cannot deliver, I am saying here what? Brother, we give you 3 months. And within that 3 months, you must prove yourself. And if 6 months we did not see it, then we go to the parliament and move you. So what will now happen? Now, I'm not throwing blame squarely there. But what we will be doing, we'll be setting a precedent to tell you, as you get on the job, I don't want to hear about no honeymoon. I don't want to hear about no year, because you have been a police already. What we would have done, we would have given you a higher position, the highest in the police service. And if you cannot perform within 6 months, hear what is happening. We're going to buy out your leave. So what will now happen, the commissioners who come in behind, they will know, look, it's a no-nonsense approach. You've got to come with your plan. In other words, let's use this term, Lennox used it this morning. If you do not have the proper mechanism and framework, then you can't deliver. So I am saying the time has come to the government, the Police Service Commission. That time has come. No more year and 2 years. Brother, hear me. 3 months and then 6 months. And if that you didn't deliver, you would buy out your leave, we get another commissioner. I would like to hear your take on that. But you see, we're dealing with a different time, and we need to send the message to the top brass in the police service. This is what we're going to do. Tabak it out and off. Snipes, Andy, and Lennox, I would like to hear your 2 cents on this issue. I thank you.
Well, performance and target, it appears to be focused there within a constrained time. But let's go to the line. We want to get as much participation as possible in this discussion, because as I've said, I have gone beyond all of government approach. I think that is more politically savvy. I think it's an all of society approach. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, first time caller.
Go ahead, caller. Thank you very much for calling. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from over.
Go ahead, move on.
Right. So I am part of the protective services. Right? And we speak about we want to change and stop crime in the country. But really and truly, we're not looking at things holistically. And when I speak about holistically, I am speaking about the judiciary system. For crime to stop or slow down, we must fix the judiciary system. And I'll say that because too much time you have to put your court, and court postpone, and it goes on and on. And one more thing, there's no fear for the criminals. There's no law or punishment put in place for criminals right now. And why I say that is, if a criminal goes into somebody's house and thieves, and they know that the penalty is a hand cut off, you know, it will bring fear into them. You get hold with a weapon, you get 15 years one time. But that could only happen if the judiciary system is fixed. Right? Only have a blessing.
Thank you very much. You know, you could feel the desperation in that presentation, as we have seen in many others. But let's go to the lines. We're looking for solutions. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
I'm Evangeline Valtura again.
Yes.
You know, guys, I don't know. We are a population of 1.4 million. And yet you're going to tell me, when I look in the outer world of hundreds of millions, and when any crime is committed, they find the perpetrators. Is it a case where we can't do it, or we don't want to do it? Why is we supposed to have intelligent people? We have criminologists, we have analysts, everybody that's just come and talk a certain negative after the government make a decision. Nobody coming with solutions. Why we cannot find solutions here to deal with this crime situation? You know why? Simply because there are no consequences. Yesterday I heard they held 11 people with this SOE thing, including a policeman, right? What they're going to do, they're going to hold them until the state of emergency finishes, and then they're going to let them go? Then we have to get real dread in this country. The reason why everybody doing things and getting away because they know they can do what they want, when they want, how they want. They will lock them up, feed them, and have them comfortable for a month or two, and then they tail back on the road to commit the crime, right? We need to get dread in this place. We need to get police like in the days when we had Randolph Burrell. Or you know who the criminals are. It's time to break down door, break down fence, do what all they have to do to get them. And when they see all this serious, they will have respect for the law. You understand? This is a softness and talk. And as if there is no solution to this problem, there is a solution. the solution, and I heard the Minister of Justice saying that they're going to revive certain things in the judiciary. Do that. When you hold them Monday, by the next week they should be in court, and by the next week they should be in jail, because all of them who committing the crime, they don't want to be in jail, you know. That's not, we're not a band of helpless, illiterate people. We have judges, we have magistrates, we have everybody, we have police. Why it is this kind of situation cannot be under control? You know why? Because we're not seeing on the television. We hold John Monday, he going to jail for 20 years. We hold this one, we hanging them. That is the problem. No consequences. And let me go on before I go. Look at Floyd, when he killed the man, then they killed Floyd in New York. A year after the case was called, and the police in jail for life. You hear anybody here ever charge? You hear anybody here ever get locked up? They're holding them. They're getting them bail. And then next week they're back out. And not one from them government ministers back down making a jail. Hey, we have to get serious in this place. Yeah? And we have to get dread. You hear? Blessings, gentlemen. You're doing a good program. You hear? We have to get real serious in this place now. Blessings.
Thank you very much for that contribution. We have another call because what we are getting, Snipes, is a level of desperation and intolerance.
You think the observation that there's no consequence and the observation that the detection rate is low is desperate?
Because of the solutions that are being preferred. Take them now, shoot them down, etc., etc. That is what I'm.
You mean that old policing style?
Yeah, that has produced, in spite of that, in the past, because that is history. Mm-hmm. But listen, we're still grappling with the same problem today. Mm-hmm. So therefore, one can say that didn't work either. One can say that the 9 persons that were hanged, suspending, of course, all of Trinidad and Tobago's commitment to international conventions was suspended when Ramesh Lawrence Moraj was Attorney General. But today
we must also check how long it took for us to have a drug kingpin after that situation took place.
No, but the reality is that we are grappling with the same problem. So if that was a solution, and it was the panacea,
it wasn't continued, Lennox.
Okay, right. So therefore, it doesn't take away the fact that we have the same problem today, even if it wasn't continued. So we have to find out why it didn't continue, one, and the dysfunctionality, if at all, of the various institutions that were supposed to keep that in place. If we have a call, we'll take the call.
We had 4 calls that.
Oh gosh, no. We cannot take up the discussion. I want to get the solutions from the callers. Pleasant good morning. Welcome to the Ground Report.
Good morning to the Ground Report. I've noticed I ain't hearing Andy, but I'm hearing you.
Andy's right here. He's right here in the background.
Yeah, he's right here. Just doing something that none of us
saying certain things, and the last lady she talked well, but I go add in a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I want to say something here. Around the world right now, murders happening. Take, for instance, Trump. Take, for instance, Iran. Take, for instance, Russia. These ideologies of the human being, it's floating in the minds of men. And man should live by example. And if the examples is not being led by the top, we have a problem. The lady talked there nice today, and I will all say the same thing she said. If by chance, I could say get the guns out of the hands of the citizens, which is not so easy because, plenty of people having their gun for certain revolutionary matters or whatever situation or what they're going through, or however they're passing their evil onto people. But to get the guns out of the hands of people, added to what the lady said there, I wouldn't go through all what she said because all what she said is very, very, very good. But to get the guns out of the hands of the people, that is one of the necessary facts that is happening by some finance, amnesty, or whatever. But as long as gun is in people's hands, you would always have to expect that murder in the world will be. So I don't want to carry it more because the lady say a lot. But that
Yeah.
last piece I now say is an important part that tell me how to do that. If we don't have some kind of way to do that, to get the guns out of people, because the ignorance is in the minds of men. So that is like a the solution is to get the guns out of the hands of men, and according to the Bible, put the guns into plowshed. I don't know how we're doing that. If the scripture says so, and we're not doing it, and we're looking for crime to do, we in a problem. So you can.
Is this president?
Yes, brother.
Elijah? It's very nice to hear your voice, my friend.
Yeah, that's right. But here, let us go on. They have been taking so much of the WhatsApp note that and you can't get in. And I like to talk. I like to talk, debate everything.
Okay,
but
we will
Oh God, but you can't talk more than the pit bull too. Okola, you can't talk more than the pit bull too, Paula. But your contribution was great. Snipes' contribution was great. Right? At the end of the day, even if it is you have to get the guns, it still boils down. You can get how much guns, how much you want. So long as we don't have detection, so long as these brothers and them that killing people don't get whole, and they know they're not getting whole, day by day, every day, they're getting more and more emboldened, till they will get brave enough to start to take down politicians. We need to nip this in the bud. This thing very serious.
All right, we have another call.
We have some voice
because
notes.
I'm formulating a particular perspective that I don't want to in any way infringe the callers and to render them second place in this process, because it is an all of society approach in my view, and therefore all will have to make their contribution one. And the institutions that are supposed to be functioning to treat with this directly must also be dealt with to make sure that the efficiency that is required comes to the fore. But I want to address it in that particular. We have a call?
Let's take two voice notes.
All right, let's take two voice notes.
Good morning to the panel.
Good morning. Voice note.
I just want to say that it's about time, because we see it time and time again, government after government, where the politicians, they give their friends and their family a big piece of the pie, the blood, sweat and tears of the taxpayers, right? And when the mark boss, we use the mark because we're talking about mark. When the mark boss, nobody is prosecuted, right? They put inquiry, launch inquiry, and spend millions behind that. A good example is the Petrotrin inquiry, right? Dana Sitahal inquiry, and nothing really comes out of it. All you do is make the high people in the pyramid richer, right? It's about time we catch these people and prosecute them. The only thing we could prosecute them is the brunt of the law, but we see time and time again the law to spare them just get away, them exempted.
But then a big question is, caller, a big question is still, all right, like for instance, you mentioned Dana Sitahal. Who killed Dana Sitahal?
We have another.
No, let him go ahead.
All right, okay, go ahead, Andy. Go ahead.
Yeah. You mentioned Dana Sitahal. We can mention many other murders, many other murders. And the big question is, who killed them? Did anybody got thing for their murder and all them things? We need to know. We really need to know. And so long as they ain't catching people, it will continue going on. Again, detection is the problem. All right.
Yes, he's very. I totally agree with Andy on this.
Yeah,
we have a detection rate problem in this country.
That is a given. That's a given.
Something is wrong with the training of our detectives.
That's a given.
Something is definitely wrong.
And on the other hand, when persons are detected, we find that they escape the wrath of the justice system as well. So, but I want to start
So we have an issue with consequence here.
No, it's an issue of institutions. That's the point. That's where I'm going. But it started with Mr. Tabakit when he talked about the solution with respect to the commissioner of police.
Yeah.
And that the commissioner of police should be given his task, his portfolio must be task oriented, it must be time specific, and it must be evaluated based on the task that is supposed to be accomplished within a particular time in order for his validity to be recognized and the basis for which he must continue in office. I like that because you see, the same has to be applied to all of the other institutions, not just the police. The judiciary must be able as well to exercise expeditious justice. When there is even though we have a 5% detection, but those who are detected must not remain in the system 10 and 15 years before they meet justice.
The ground seems to believe that it falls on the head of the police commissioner, and that is not true. When the police do their job and they bring someone to the forefront, we have lawyers and we have a system that is set up to make sure that we follow through on what has to be done.
No, I'll come into that.
Yeah.
I'll come into that. That has not, escaped me.
The police commissioner in this country, in this Trinidad and Tobago, has been getting licks since the beginning of time over his back. When the issue really is with our judicial system.
No, well, I'm saying that it's all the systems. That's the point I'm making. So I've started with the police. I talked about the judicial system itself because of the delay and so on. The prison system in terms of rehabilitation, in terms of even the church involvement, the family involvement,
has the rehabilitation
the schools
system
involvement.
in the prison ever existed?
That's the point I'm making.
Ever exist in this country?
It appears that what we are talking about is dysfunctional institutions, what the sociologists call of institution of social intervention, social change, those that are responsible for the individual, to nurture the individual and to make the person the right, proper, and law-abiding citizens that he ought to be. The institution, the family has a role to play, the church has a role to play, the schools have a role to play, the judiciary or magistracy or what you want to call that system has a role to play. The government as an institution has a role to play. So if you have a breakdown in any one or all of them as it appears to be, then chaos and mayhem will subsume, or should I say, consume all of us. And that is where I think we are. We have to focus. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So we have to focus on getting these institutions because the laws are there. And the laws cannot function by themselves, the law on the books. But it is a human being inside of these respective institutions who are expected, of course, to play their role in terms of keeping the society on the straight and narrow. And once these are functioning as we seem to be insisting and have observed that they are not, then and only then. So therefore, the consciousness of the various institutions, mommy and daddy, the consciousness of the...
Which is the beginning.
Yeah, that's where it is. Where you are expected to learn the value and the morals and the ethics and all of the other rudimentary elements that would prepare you to interact with your fellow man, because human beings are gregarious animals, meaning that they live in community. They are social animals, and therefore, sorry for the term human beings would like to be called animals, but let's, for the purposes of discussion and for the firmness that we want to address this issue of dysfunctionality of institutions. We need to understand that everybody must now play their part, and those persons inside of this of the system who are the
10
heads,
seconds to news.
whether it be commissioner of police or the chief judge, whether it be the prime minister, everybody have to pay their. But let's go for the news, and when we come back more.
I'm Carrie Roberts, making the news at this time. A body of a man who was reported missing on Friday has been recovered by members of the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard. In a statement, it notes that recovery operations took place at approximately 5:43 on Monday evening in waters off Five Islands. The Coast Guard says it responded to reports that a body was seen floating there. It adds that the man's vessel was found adrift in the same area. The Coast Guard says the matter was handed over to the relevant authorities for further investigations. In other news, concerns are being raised about unregistered drugs entering Trinidad and Tobago, with the Pharmacy Board warning that stronger oversight and enforcement may be needed to protect public health. The issue was highlighted by newly elected president of the Pharmacy Board, Sanjay Mohammed, who says while systems exist to regulate medication, gaps remain when it comes to drugs entering our country outside of approved channels. Mr. Mohammed explained that responsibility for drug registration falls under the Chemistry, Food and Drugs Division, but stressed that the board is stepping up its role in ensuring pharmacies adhere strictly to regulations. He's also warning the public to be mindful of where they access medication, noting that not all sources are legitimate.
Coming into the country that are not registered, and the Pharmacy Board is looking at that with a keen eye.
The board is also turning its attention to establishments operating outside of the legal framework, with plans to increase enforcement in the sector. The board president says the goal is to strengthen public confidence and ensure that all medications being accessed locally meet the required safety standards. In other news, India is moving to strengthen deeper, more practical partnerships with Trinidad and Tobago and the wider Caribbean. That's according to the High Commissioner of India to Trinidad and Tobago, Dr. Pradeep Singh Rajpurohit, who spoke at a high-level forum on Monday evening. The event was hosted by the University of the West Indies St. Augustine campus in collaboration with the High Commission of India, and examined how recent diplomatic engagements can translate into stronger cooperation in trade, education, technology, and development.
Purpose of this discussion is that what are the key areas of collaboration, and yes, there is some kind of discussion going on, but what we can do further. Examples: digital transformation. We have signed agreement for launching the UPI, the digital payment platform, and I'm confident that this is coming up in near future in Trinidad and Tobago.
He said open academic discussions can help generate fresh ideas beyond traditional government channels. The High Commissioner added that governments and embassies alone cannot drive progress.
This is where we seek fresh ideas, new themes, new thinking on how we can bring together, how youngsters in Trinidad and Tobago can benefit out of India's vibrant startup ecosystem. India has recently signed a number of free trade agreements with a lot of countries. How this can synergize with your trade requirements and the current level of economic priorities.
The Trinidad and Tobago Meteorological Service says it is fast-tracking upgrades to its weather monitoring and observation technology. Acting Director Shakir Beg provided the update on Monday as the agency marked World Meteorological Day 2026, underscoring the vital importance of reliable weather observations in delivering accurate forecasts and timely early warnings to the public.
Every observation that we make, whether from the surface observations or from what you would have seen with respect to the release of the weather balloon, it observes the upper atmosphere, whether it's from the weather radars, the satellite, they all represent a vital piece of the puzzle in understanding our dynamic atmosphere.
To strengthen that capability, Mr. Beg said the Met Service is upgrading its infrastructure and investing in more advanced technology to better monitor increasingly unpredictable weather patterns.
We are actively pursuing, with full support of our Parliamentary Secretary and our ministers, and indeed the government of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, the installation of an X-band weather radar system to enhance our ability to observe high-resolution, short-range monitoring, particularly in intense rainfall events.
In some sport now, PowerGen is the Trinidad and Tobago Cricket Board's 30-over champions after a commanding 59-run victory over Victoria United at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy on Sunday. Winning the toss and choosing to field first, a decision that Victoria United would come to regret, Jeremy Solozano anchored the PowerGen innings with a brilliant 75 runs off just 63 deliveries, striking 4 fours and 3 sixes, as PowerGen posted 224 for 9 in their 30 overs. Bowling for Victoria, Chadion Raymond took 3 for 43. In reply, Victoria United were never in the hunt. Uthman Mohammed was the pick of the bowlers with 4 for 36 off 5 overs, including a maiden, as Victoria were bowled out for 165 in under 28 overs. Eton Bal was their top scorer with 40. Victoria's Chadion Raymond took the Best Fielder award, and PowerGen's Jeremy Solozano was named Man of the Match. At the presentation, TTCB President Azim Bassarat handed runners-up Victoria United their trophy and a check for $25,000 before presenting PowerGen with the championship trophy and $45,000. And that was your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. From the entire team here to yours, have a great day.
Your news, anytime, anywhere. TTT News brings you the facts that matter most. On air and online. More ways to stay informed. TTT News covers the stories that matter. Join us nightly at 7. TTT News. Committed, accurate, relevant.
Tune in to the Holy Trinity Cathedral program on Talk City 91.1 FM every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Mark your calendar. It's a great way to stay connected with the spiritual reflections, uplifting messages, and community updates right here with us on Talk City 91.1 FM.
Wake up to the issues that matter most on The Ground Report. Join Andy Williams and Lennox Smith every morning from 6 to 9 a.m. for real talk, real analysis, and real perspectives on the stories shaping our nation. News, current affairs, and voices from the ground, unfiltered and unapologetic. That's The Ground Report. Weekday mornings on Talk City 91.1, where the conversation begins.
Trinidad and Tobago stands proudly as a partner in safeguarding the health of our communities and the wider Caribbean.
Minister of Health Dr. The Honorable Lakram Bodo, as he addressed the opening ceremony for a major regional outbreak response training under the Global Outbreak Alert and Response Network hosted in Trinidad and Tobago. The 5-day program brings together local and international public health experts to strengthen the Caribbean's ability to detect and respond to health threats. Minister Bodo described the initiative as a significant milestone for the region.
This type of workshop normally occurs in the UK. We're very happy that CAF has been able to bring this workshop here to us in the Caribbean, and particularly pleased that it's happening here in Trinidad and Tobago. We mark not just the beginning of another training exercise, but the continuation of a journey toward resilience, unity, and preparedness in the face of global health threats.
A key outcome of the initiative is the development of a deployable regional outbreak response workforce capable of responding rapidly and effectively to public health emergencies across the Caribbean. Participants from 7 countries are engaged in a simulated outbreak scenario of unknown origin, designed to mirror the pressures of unpredictability of real-world situations. Minister Bodo signaled a shift towards more action-oriented preparedness.
Preparedness must move beyond the planning into practical testing, and this initiative demonstrates our collective resolve. By integrating prevention, preparedness, and response into our national resilience planning, we ensure that our strategies are not only comprehensive and inclusive, but also sustainable, safeguarding public health today while securing the well-being of generations to come.
Minister of Health, Dr. The Honorable Lakram Bodo. By strengthening systems, investing in people, and deepening partnerships, the government of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago is helping to build a safer, more prepared Caribbean, one equipped not only to respond to emerging threats, but to safeguard the health and well-being of future generations.
This was a production of the Information Division, Office of the Prime Minister.
This is Destra, and you're listening to the Ground Report on Talk City. Keep it locked.
That is what we're talking about. We are back. We are back. We are back. Time check. Yeah, it's approximately 10 minutes. Past the hour, past 8 o'clock. And very interesting, very interesting. I will honestly like to keep on the front burner the whole issue of the crime situation. It bad. You have to wonder who next. Would it be Lennox? Would it be Snipes? Would it be me? Would it be a government minister? Would it be the prime minister? Who next? What we're sure about is somebody else is on a hit list next. And what will keep emboldening these people is the fact that nobody is getting whole. No detection. And more, we're not having detection for these murders and them. It will keep getting worse because if a man know he could take a man's life and get away with it, he will continue at it. It is what it is. This is a dire, serious situation now. And I really think the National Security Council should come together and let them see how they could put at ease at this point in time. Because every day so far, people are being gunned down. It's bad. Detection. They need to lock up. If they don't lock up, they will never catch nobody. They will never slow it down or anything. They need to lock up. Go ahead, Lennox Smith and Director Snipes.
Yes, I cannot overemphasize the need for a revolution, almost a renaissance in terms of looking at what we have as institutions and, of course, generating an attitude or a paradigm that inculcates on the basis of value what is right and what is wrong, what we know to be correct and acceptable behavior by those who are responsible for the execution or the management or the superintending of these various institutions. The dysfunctionality has deteriorated over many, many decades. Yeah. It will take some time, yes, to get on the right path, so to speak, in terms of correction. But it is not impossible because it's human beings you're talking about. When I talk about persons who are the head or who are functioning in these institutions, because the institutions by themselves, without human beings, does not exist. There must be human beings, and therefore that is what I'm talking about. If every single human being would have born in a family, so that's the first institution that the society has, and is the place where he or she learns the value, how to behave, how to conduct themselves, etc. But if that breaks down, and breaking down here is specific people, I am talking here about if mommy and daddy does not direct that offspring to, let's say, make up the bed, for example, using a very simple example, after they would have slept on it, say the prayer or whatever religious doctrine that they would subscribe to, or on a moral basis, do not stretch your hand where it can't reach. Say good morning, say good evening. Do not take that which is not yours. And then in the schools, when they would have come out of the family environment and go to the schools, those values continues to be inculcated. But more importantly, on their way to and from school, leaving the house, the neighborhood itself, and the people who they encounter from time to time demonstrate similar values, similar adherence to these strict principles, we will have less responsibility for the judiciary, the police, etc. But whenever that raises its head and the child veer off the straight and narrow, the police must be there to, of course.
Well, let me ask you something, Lennox.
And then the prison, and then the judiciary, and we can go on and on. That is what I'm talking about. The dysfunctionality clearly has been not looked at in the way that we ought to. Government come, government go. Go ahead, Andy.
Right, but Lennox, my big question to you still is, all we're saying is installing that morals to get back something of it go. It done gone. The ship have left the state barn, or the horse have bolted out the stable. However it go, that done gone. How now are we going to deal with it? Where that done gone? Here it is. They coming out, they killing people. Birds, they know they're not going to get catch. You understand? How
listen
now should they? Yeah.
Go ahead. Listen carefully. I accept the fact that there is a category, because we have done the research. So I'm talking here now from an academic and a practical perspective.
I would like you to wrap that up to get to your segment.
Yes. Quickly, we have categories of persons at different levels of, let's say, deterioration. But it does not take away, first and foremost, the fact that it's human beings in these institutions, control these institutions, that they themselves first must make the change. But if there are those who have gone on beyond and is the subject of concern for the society now, then there are other mechanisms to treat with that. But first and foremost, you must deal with a revolution within these institutions by those who are in charge of these institutions. That's the first thing. That is the most palpable thing. And then you deal, of course, with those who are not prepared to conform. Then, of course, there is a place for them. We know that, the prison. But those who can be reformed, then they will have to conform, because the institutions have insisted that they must conform to the principles for which the institutions was created within the context of functionality within the society for a better place. All right, let's go. Of course, we have reached the stage. Sorry about that, people.
We'll definitely continue the conversations after the segment.
After the word of the word challenge for today. You can call in. Let me just give you the numbers again. The numbers to call, of course, is 622-4911. 622-4911. Very, very, very sensitive, should I say, issues that are being discussed today, and it has to be ventilated. 622-4911. 622-4911. Remember, only these numbers you can get today. And 394-4911. 394-4911. You can call, of course, for the word challenge now. I would prefer, yesterday I think I started off, but let me say my word for today if we don't have a call before. We have a call?
All the lines are lit up.
All right, good. Well, let's hear yours before I give mine.
Hello, welcome.
My modern gentleman and Mr. Lennox Smith, my former colleague from the Youth Office in Sealot. Anyhow, my word today is Aleximaitia.
Alex what?
Alexithyma.
Alexia?
Maitia.
Huh?
No, repeat it for me. I didn't get it clearly.
Alexithyma. Alexithymia.
Alex, go. How do I know that boy?
Alexithyma.
All right. I must say that one is a mystery to me now.
Yeah, well,
Alexia.
Introduced management.
What's the meaning? What's the meaning?
It means that you have a manager, a supervisor who, under emotional distress, what we call in Trinidad a hoggish manager.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, somebody, they're doing the work vex, they always vex.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You would have met people in your time and in my time, you know?
Yes,
Like
okay.
that. And I must say, I remember you, I woke downstairs in the dude office and she goes, you woke upstairs and you had your walk and going to the main entrance.
Yeah, they were days, boy. Those were days. Those were days. Those were good days.
Yeah, you had your Walkman and you always bypassing Sarge. Now Sarge was the fellow with the watchman there, the gateman. There were no hands.
I hear you. I hear you.
And there was a time a gentleman came, a young fellow came and he stole something from somebody in the compound there.
Uh-huh.
So he run towards the gate and people shouting out to Sarge, hold the man, Sarge, hold him. Sarge saying, boy, I have no hand, I go hold him with.
I hear you. Repeat the spelling for me, please. Trying to get it now. Know that.
A-L-E-X I-H-Y-M-I-A.
Yeah, Alexia Themia. All right,
Alexithymia.
Now, I know that word at all. All right, okay, so, and it says, of course, the difficulty in identifying and describing emotions in oneself and others. Thanks very much for that word. Yes, sir.
From a dude man to a dude man. But I have to call you now because we must do a special.
I hear you. I hear you, yes.
Dude had a society, because dude had a lot of positive impacts. It had negatives, of course.
Yes.
Right? And me and you may be the lone survivors from that organization because who went migrate died.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
Thank you, caller.
Alexithymia.
Your word.
Alexithymia. My word, of course, a very, very simple one. It diversify. Right, of course, you know, different parts, diversify, you change from time to time. Very, very simple. You hear that word in the diversifying the economy. Well, it means that, of course, you know, putting it into different parts and introducing different things. So diversify, right? So branch, you could call it, of course, branch out.
So you give the word and you give the answer?
Yeah, I normally do that.
You were supposed to allow for someone to answer.
No. I answer theirs, but they don't necessarily have to answer mine.
Okay.
Yeah, but if there's another person that has another word, I am prepared, of course, to take now as well. I want to say that get close to your dictionary, whether it be an electronic one, whether it be a hard copy, you know, your Oxford dictionary, get one. And when this time comes around, because it is about sharing information, is about, I don't propose or know everything, and therefore it'd be nice when you challenge me. I can now, of course, learn something, and you would learn something from me. And in that environment, we will begin the process of changing Trinidad and Tobago, because this is what this is all about. The entire conversation today is about how we can prefer or bring forward solutions. President, good morning. Welcome. We lost that one. Let's go to a voice note and see what is in store for us among the voices.
Thank you, Lennox and the Snipes. Well, this is just my opinion, and to the listening public. No, this is my opinion concerning what can we do and solve some of these crime things that is taking place, right? No, we don't know what's happening in somebody's house. We don't know what happened in somebody's area because you're not there on time, right? So my suggestion is let the government go to Parliament and put more stricter laws, just like what they do for the drivers and them goods, how they raise fines and all these things, and there's nothing we could do for them to say, well, we don't want that, no matter how hard and try. Well, do the same thing. You get catch with ammunition, 10 years automatically. You ain't have no time for no parole and all them kind of thing, right? Nothing like that. You get catch with a gun and ammunition, that is 20 years. Nothing to do with no thing. But after 20 years, then you go get your parole. And if you murder, well, it's 25 to life. And it's simple. You understand? Within the lifetime, you could get hung. You understand? Depending on what's the situation, because sometimes it might be a self-defense. Well, you go through that process. But if it's regular straight up murder, 25 to life, within that lifetime you could get hung or whatever. And go and write new laws. Write that law. You want to fix it, that's how you have to fix it. You can't fix it no other way. Where you get police 24 hours in everybody's house. No, that ain't gonna happen. So let me do the right thing. Change the stricter laws and put harsher penalties on people with ammunition thing who not supposed to have that. At least we go know, well, whoever doing it now after the fact will be police, or army men, or whatever the case may be, because they have rights for that. But the average person on the street, the gangsters, and well, I guess this is just my opinion. If you want to change it, put harsher penalties, and that's when you can come up with at the present. Blessings.
Yes, indeed. That voicemail is complete.
Yeah.
Yes. Again, solutions. And Andy made a very valid point, and that is, what do you do with those who are now engaged? And I believe we have enough laws to treat with what the last voicemail would have suggested. What has to happen is a paradigm shift in terms of attitude. But let's go to the line. A pleasant good morning. Welcome.
Pleasant good morning, Brother Lennox.
Good morning.
This is your boy, Tana.
Hey, yes, man.
Wesley Snipes, pleasant good morning to you, my brother.
Good morning, Karanaj.
Pleasant good morning. Now, Lennox, we're looking for solutions for the crime problem, Lennox.
Yes.
Lennox, first to begin, what do the youth condemn? Is youth now dying, right?
Mm-hmm.
And these youth leaving school at a certain age, and when they leave school, they have options. What is the option for them? The block linemen smoking weed, doing this kind of thing. Anybody doing anything to empower the youth, anybody putting any measures in place. Long time we had what they used to call Instagrammers, they must have Pandya and them helping us. What Pandya and them
Yes, the youth camp, yes.
Youth camp and this kind of thing. They're supposed to put compulsory thing now because there's still more going on in school. They put police in school and they still have fight in school. They want to fight with the police, the parents fighting with the students and all kind of things. So we have to nip it in the bud. The government is trying its endeavor best to solve the problem, right? We're not again. I don't want to say too much, but what I want to say this morning is have police and soldiers living in every community throughout Trinidad and Tobago.
Well said.
Right? It has modern technology now increased, that they're using modern technology now to drive about to get access from point A to point B. Lennox, the government have to know how to use these things against the system. I wonder if you understand what I'm saying, brother.
Yeah, very, very. I mean, you're talking to the converted man. Go ahead.
Right, Lennox, I want to say another thing I'm doing this morning, right? Look, Lennox, right now, we have war in the Middle East, right? People who live in the Western Hemisphere, if they was producing oil and the economy would have been building and coming up high, because what is the price for a barrel of oil right now, Lennox?
100 and something, boy, and counting, 20 something
How much
and counting.
barrel of oil Trinidad and Tobago is producing right now, Lennox?
About 20,000 thereabout. Down from
20,000 due to the fact that somebody, the former closed down Petrotrin, right? And now we realize what's taking place in the country. He just coming out to try to, what they call, mislead people with information. He coming out and asking for, he wants press conference to repeat itself. He called the Honorable Prime Minister all sorts of names already, right? But he knows Trinidad and Tobago, it's time for we to understand who have us in this situation, who have us in this position at present. He closed down Petrotrin, and right now Trinidad economy is supposed to be making a lot of money, right or wrong?
Right. Correct.
Right, as a result of that,
Yes,
I want
yes.
to say again, I will leave it there for the moment.
Thank you.
Yeah, we have another call. We of course the lines are open. Let me just repeat those numbers. We have one. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, Lennox. Boy, morning to the Growing Report 91.1 Talk City.
Yes, man.
The wonderful station in the blessed nation.
Yes.
Yes, my brother. Honestly, I want to congratulate you, the Honorable Mr. Lennox,
and the Honorable Fixit Minister, Dr. Philip Alexander. You know, because I see the cries of the people with one of your colleagues there at talk show host there. You could hear the cry on his voice for years. He was asking for help, and there was in the wilderness, like somewhere with that planning by each dry river there. Lennox, but
yes.
you the man, I always stand firm with you, right? It has persons who make a mischief and trying to block me from getting back closer to the government, right? But I say no weapon formed against God's children shall prosper. And every tongue rises against me in judgment, I shall condemn by the power of the Almighty King Jesus' name. You know, Lennox, you always is a man for Laventarian. When you talk about Laventarian for Laventarian, for years, my brother, over 20-something years, I know Lennox always down in George Street and Nelson, helping people, bringing goods and services. I myself, when we get the bank, the river, they come up and wash the house. I came down and Lennox give me a hamper for years. He always helping people. Lennox, I admire that good work, boy. And Philip, I had to give Philip a thumbs up too. You know, I see the front burner with the strategy to bring relief to deal with this crime. Lennox right now, it's a real overbearing, boy. Because I've seen people just walking in places, right? Robbing people, shooting people, kidnapping their vehicles, taking them, going and doing robbery, beating the shop owners and them. They start to stop, boys, and the police and officers and them. I say, when you go to the police station, you see all of them sit down there writing, they sit down on their phone, come out and go in the street and deal with these criminal elements, right? This is not right. And also when police officers going on duty, oh God, man, my brothers and sisters, don't shoot the people, animals, man. Oh God, I like, boy, I love ones, boy. Look, I see a lady lost, she can't dance, she's given out a reward of $10,000. The poor little kitten, people hold it and he gets it. Well, I hope the lady gets it. Also, I want to say good morning to the Mr. Punisher, the commissioner, because I see that police officers now apprehending and locking up police officers for wrongdoing. Lennox, God bless you, boy, and you know, stay strong again. Thank you for this time off.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You have another call?
Hi, welcome.
Good morning.
Pleasant good morning, Andy. Mr. Lennox.
Yes.
And Director Snipes. My word of the day is tenacious. And
tenacious.
on the topic of crime and criminality, my seven points I would like to present: focus-led, intelligent policing, community-based violence interruption, 3, faster justice and higher certainties of consequences, 4, hot spot policing, targeting places, not just people, 5, youth intervention and prevention, 6, address root causes without waiting for them to be solved. And some of the solutions are fixing poverty, inequality, and lack of opportunity. Thank you, gentlemen, and have a blessed day.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And of course, I'm sure that you were trying to get in a long time. So your tenaciousness will be
so much
recognized.
So much points we could expand on from the points that she gave. We could expand, on the
of course,
points that she gave.
it encapsulates, whilst it may in each one may be broad, but certainly speaks to the general discourse that we are having this morning in terms of solutions. So thank you very much.
I want to place Tabakita at the head of the class for planting the seed. This
he did. That's why I refer back to that presentation.
Hi, good morning. Welcome.
Profusely. Good morning.
Good morning, Lennox.
Good morning to you.
Morning to Andy Mitten and Mr. Sniper.
Andy's here. He's here. He's
right here.
Yeah, he's in back.
Okay, morning to my brothers. Lennox, I mean to say, let me face reality. You remember in your time, my time, we didn't have no where they call this place in the arcade long time, these game machine and them.
Yeah.
And then they increase from the game machine with the chopping, the shooting, and the thing. Children used to leave school. Sometimes they ain't go to school and they in the arcade, they on Frederick Street, playing them machine and them. You know right now, we breeding criminals through the internet and the TV. So when we're talking about crime, it will get worse. This is Malcolm X. You know why it will get worse? I had to stop my grandson and take off the TV 1 o'clock. This man, boy, shoot the man, boy, look the man coming from behind the thing. These people playing these games, and all parents in Trinidad and Tobago, all you tell me if I lying. Most of the things now on them game things, it ain't flying kite, it ain't spinning top, no. It's only shooting, chopping, and killing. So these children from an early age, them praying to get a gun to see how straight they is, and they don't care who is their partner, their brother, their sister they're going up with. Let me look at that and see, because the people who making them thing, Lennox, Snipe, and the Gong Report, the people who making them thing in China and Japan, they're not showing it in them country. That is where licking we up here, and the youths and spoiling them. All you have a good day.
You know, Lennox, there's another side to that, because growing up, my toys were guns.
That's the very thought I had in my mind when I
see a gun, I would want to be a police officer or a military personnel, you know. So I don't think it's so much of the games and the toys, because I think it's the training from in the home.
And to go closer to the caller's position with respect to the technology, the abstract technology, if you want to call that, or the digital technology, is the fact that we grew up on Gunsmoke and Bonanza and all of that.
Our games were police and thief.
Our
games were cowboys and Indians.
But yet still, the family institution kept you on the straight and narrow to be discerning that what is fiction as opposed to reality, and the reality is what you are living. But that is fiction, that is entertainment, and it was left where it is and appreciated for where it is. You don't go and practice it, even though there would have been elements that would have gone off the straight and narrow, but that would have been, of course, not as regular and not as prolific and not as consistent as it is today. I don't know. It's maybe because these things always existed.
Live by example.
And maybe the population grew.
That are set for them.
So that I take your point, my friend, but I want to say that we grew up on violent coming into our homes via the television, the tube, and so on, but we were never influenced to gravitate to conduct ourselves in the society in the way that we are seeing it. Too regular, too liberal, too common, not to be concerned, and that is why we are concerned today. We of course can take another call. We have a call there, or we have to go for a break, whichever. We have to go for the break. All right, we go for the break, and when we come back more, it's getting hot in here because we're looking for solutions, people, and we will, I'm sure, give to the decision makers, those who will have to implement ideas so as to conform and respond to what is unfolding in the society today. When we come back more.
Your stories, your communities, your country. TTT News is everywhere, on the ground, across Trinidad and Tobago, and on every smart device. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Tune in to the Holy Trinity Cathedral program on Talk City 91.1 FM every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Mark your calendar. It's a great way to stay connected with the spiritual reflections, uplifting messages, and community updates right here with us on Talk City 91.1 FM.
Destra, and you're listening to the Ground Report on Talk City. Keep it locked.
Yes, indeed. Of course, we are back. We are back. Time check is about 20 minutes to the hour of 9 o'clock. We take this call. Good morning.
Good morning to the Magnificent Street. Right. Mr. Lennox?
Yes.
Let me tell you something. And the law is supposed to be made in such a way to deter people from committing crime?
Yes. Yes. That's
Okay,
reason
Mr.
for it.
Lennox.
Yeah.
So let me tell you something. Why do people commit crime so readily then? Mr. Lennox? Asking that question.
Well, people. Well, I think Andy mentioned it. I think several callers mentioned it, and that is to say, the possibility that they will not be detected. They will not pay the consequence.
Yeah, no. Let me tell you something. The main thing is that is because crime is not punished quickly enough, Mr. Lennox.
But you're saying the same thing that I've said, but in a different way. No problem. Go ahead. We take it from your perspective. Yeah, is your
if
topic.
They make laws within a year to 2 years after who commit murder, breaking neck. If he had to go privy council and he reached under 4 years, breaking neck. Right now, people committing crime and know they will live because 10, 15 years they're still living and they murder a man. Right? So if a father had to kill a man, he don't know, he ain't gonna die now. So quick justice is the thing to tell people not to commit crime. Let me tell you something, Mr. Smith. A man will commit 100 crimes and still outside their pool as ever. Go in jail, coming back out. Go in jail, because it's just swift enough, Mr. Lennox. They have to break people's neck very quickly. As they catch you, within a year or two, you're done. I'll listen to you, Mr. Smith, to what you have to say on this. Thank you, sir.
Well, I have to say I'm not in the area of that type of punishment because I believe that if a person doesn't deserve it and you do it, you can't bring him back. So that's the first thing. And of course, that's the trend. But certainly, the first part of your argument, your first part of your presentation is expeditious justice, speedy justice. That is something that we must work upon, and that is why I cannot overemphasize the role of the people inside of these various institutions that are supposed to execute their duty to make sure that the society functions equitably, it functions peacefully, it functions industriously, and of course that we are able to produce and become the kind of citizens that all of us would like to be in peace and prosperity.
Let's go for some voice notes.
Yes.
Yes, guys. You know, we have to keep it real, you know. We have to keep it real. And Lennox, what you were saying is true. Because I am looking at Joshua and I am seeing how you as a father is training him. I don't know about the other children, but of course all the other children, and they will do well. But we in this country don't want to be real. We don't want to be real. The problems are in the police force, in the judiciary. Let me face it. You hear? We had to get rid of plenty of them police, plenty of them lawyers, plenty of them magistrates, plenty of them judges, all who involved in some form of crime or the other, and all you know all yourself. Yeah, this is a fact, you understand? And when we clean up on top, we'll be able to deal with the rest. Because you can't tell me, you have all these people who are given the responsibility to deal with lawlessness. And nobody have the guts, they have the belly or the honesty to put these criminals where they should be. And that is the problem. And a lot of them too, they want this government to look bad. So they figure the more crime, they don't care about the innocent people who getting killed. They figure the more crime, the more mayhem, the more everything evil in this country, it go reflect bad on the UNC government. You understand? But the thing about it is, all you have to realize is innocent people, plenty innocent people, you hear, are being affected. So people, let me do something. And government, all you have the power, use it. And no, damn if you do, damn if you don't. So do it, do it. All you have to do, go to Parliament, make the laws. You hear? Some strict, serious laws that say anytime you break the law, you're going to be immediately dealt with and you're going to be put in jail. You understand? And all them criminals out there, all them PN, all of them, they don't want this crime to be fixed. But let me tell you now, it can't continue so, It had to stop, and it had to stop now. All you have the power, use it and fix it. Blessings.
Listen, good morning, Mikey, Lennox, Andy, Snipes. Well, this is just my opinion, and to the listening public. This is my opinion concerning what can we do and solve some of these crime things that is taking place, right? No, we don't know what's happening in somebody's house. We don't know what happened in somebody's area because you're not there on time, right? So my suggestion is let the government go to Parliament and put more stricter laws, just like what they do for the drivers and them, how they raise fines and all these things, and there's nothing we could do for them to say, well, we don't want that, no matter how hard and try. Well, do the same thing. You get catch with ammunition, 10 years automatically. Yeah.
Nobody again. So do not conflate people. So we talk the social stuff about how to fix down the road criminals. But what we are dealing with now, the now criminals, that's a different matter altogether. This is a matter of triage. Okay? And in any kind of case of triage, you have to be aggressive in the treatment. There is no greater weapon than a state of emergency against a threat to the nation. None. No Zoso bill, no nothing. What a state of emergency is a suspension of rights so that the state can engage an internal threat, right, in ways that it normally cannot. Because what criminals do in organized crime, this is organized crime, right, especially along the drug trade, right, they use your rights, the rights that are equal to everybody, to protect them. So the rights have to be suspended equally. They're equally applied and equally suspended. That's what a state of emergency is, and there's no greater weapon. The problem is you have to use it correctly. You have to use it as a weapon of war. Do not think of this as crime. The war on drugs, there's a reason why they call it that, right? And there's a reason why the Americans were finally successful by using acts of war against these drug boats. All the time they used the criminal system, because criminal justice system, about capture and put you through court. No, they blew them up. And it worked. Now, I'm not saying we're going to do that, but you use your state of emergencies, rights are suspended, you can now go grab who you need to grab and be absolutely brutal about it. I think the government is gun shy because in the first use of the state of emergency in the People's Partnership, a lot of politicking went around that, about who they targeted and all that. No, you have to drop that. You can't be gun shy in a war. Go grab who you know. The police know who they are. Grab them, all of them. Be absolutely ruthless. Hopefully they resist. You know what I'm talking about. But of course, if they don't, you take them into the judicial process. In a state of emergency, you have extra ability there regarding interrogation and all of that, and who you can bring more into the net by who you interrogate and so on. What is happening now is these organized criminals, because of what happened regarding the Venezuelan drug boats, drugs are missing, money is missing, and those scores are being settled. And then those scores become more new scores. That's what you're seeing, a conflagration. The only way to stop and treat it is to treat it as war, not crime.
Good morning again to everybody. Just in case nobody heard what the Prime Minister said, she said, it may look on the surface that I am unbothered by all the nastiness that these PNMites them say about me. But deep down, I am very unbothered, right? That's what she told them, right? She right. Don't be bothered by them. You run your country while they're running them out. Is vexed. They're vexed that they are not in office. They have no access to the treasury for their friends, their family, and their finances. That's what have them bothered and getting on so. But Keith Rowley, Lennox, I don't know if you remember the story of Rumpelstiltskin, right? You remember we stomped himself to death? Keith Rowley is going to stomp until he disappears from this country. Wait till you're all you're going to see. Because he is a raging bull. Thanks a lot.
Good morning again. One more thing, Lennox and Andy, or Mr. Snipe. They passed the law with standing ground laws. I ain't nothing if anybody getting any, defensive weapons, if you understand what I'm trying to say. I don't know how they structure it, but to go get a firearm or whatever it is the process speeding up, or the process just decide that was just a talk? Because I ain't know we could come in, apply for it, do what you have to do to get the thing. I mean, I'm just saying, is that on our back burner too, or we have to get the green light for that, or how long that take, what's the process for that? I mean, you pass a law saying, okay, all right, stand your ground laws, but are the citizens getting the opportunity to get these guns into their possessions now? All right, blessings. I just want to know anything happening.
Well, I think the most significant thing is the last part of the last caller's presentation. Yes, the Home Invasion Act was passed, yes, but that is separate and apart from the gun part. The gun part, there is existing law that needs to be amended in order to make a gun more accessible to those who qualify to be in possession of a firearm legally. So that's two different things, even though on the podium and in discussion, one would have appeared to be in interchange, or they are locked into each other. So that's two different things, because the homeowner, for example, not necessarily with a gun, but can use some other instrument to defend his castle, his or her castle. You see, so not necessarily a gun, and of course, it'd be much more difficult to get one. I have a friend right now who has been applying, a businessman, in fact, and he is getting the runaround in spite of the fact that he was robbed at one point in time, and there might be some other issue that might have created a stumbling block for him to get one. So I'm just making the point that they're two separate things. The home invasion aspect of it, that has been passed, but of course you don't have necessarily to, because you have home invasion, it doesn't mean that you must get a gun. You may not be able to qualify for a gun, but you can use other things to defend your castle or your home. Let's go to the lines.
Hi, welcome.
Pleasant good morning.
Good morning, Lennox, Andy, and the gentleman there. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
I was out for a little while, and what I called to find out is from you, Lennox, if the dance class is still on and if it's the same address.
If the what?
The dance class, if it's still on and if it's the same address.
Yes, the same address. The same address.
You know who it is?
Yeah.
I was out for a while, that's why you all didn't hear me.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And through that, the dance class started, I don't want to speak to him.
Well, let me let go your secret, Mr. Lahokita. That's for you. All right, then. Thanks very much, of course, for calling. We have another call?
Yeah, let's take
a voice. Yeah, WhatsApp. All right, okay. 5 minutes to the
Hello.
hour of 9 o'clock.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good program, but listen to me.
Mhm.
As the national of my country, what I would like to see happen,
Mm.
the judicial system come more relevant.
The what? The judicial system what?
The judicial system becomes more relevant.
Oh, more
because,
relevant. Okay.
I
okay.
mean,
More efficient. Okay.
yes, because I mean, the judicial system is not all that.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay, have
Yeah.
a good day.
Yeah. Well, it is consistent with what I'm saying as far as all of the institutions are concerned. They need to step up.
Hi,
Good
caller,
morning.
welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning, Lennox.
Good morning.
And good morning to Andy and the director there.
Mhm.
I am looking at what is happening. And the surge in criminal activity, gang warfare and homicide has been a cause of two issues. The collapsing of the drug trade from Venezuela into Trinidad, Colombia, etc., by the Americans bombing up those boats. So that is a vacuum there. The recent Gravel King demise, that is also contributing to it. So a vacuum has been created. Reorganization and succession planning is currently happening. I suspect you're going to see a lot of those homicides happening, because if you watch closely, who are the people being targeted? Are these people that are close to the leaders of those various factions? And you have to remember, since the lieutenant or the Don in Lavantil 10 years ago, whose demise was in Sandy Grande, who was the right hand of Patrick Manning in URP, it's something similar to that is happening. And let me go back to why criminals and children are involved in crime. Because I suspect we haven't addressed it adequately. From my vantage, two things have to happen. Laws have to be preventive, and it has to be corrective. We have an issue, and we could probably implement it, the hangman, which will be corrective action, because I'm seeing in Guyana the prosecution for the terrorists, they want the hangman to be involved in that. In Trinidad, we have corrective action laws, jail them, etc. But we have had two recent preventive actions, and a number of people haven't understood what the PDOR. Those are prevented detention orders to prevent a crime happening. You don't wait until it's happening. And that is a very, very strong area of crime prevention. The other thing that people haven't seen, you see that moratorium for driving offenses? You gain them about 3 weeks to go and get a driver's license, or you gain them 4 or 5 days to fix it before you're prosecuted. That is another preventive action. So I believe the government understands it. You can't turn over 10 years of neglect, because they have led us down the road of Haiti, and they are leading us down the road of Cuba, because Cuba using tolls to crank up the vehicle now, just as what Port of Spain South say, use coal, breadfruit, and pole bus. I'm going to have a nice morning.
I hear you, my friend. All right, just so I think we have been able to reach a very long way in an inexhaustive topic, because we have not yet touched the role of another member of the society, the business sector, the corporate citizen. They are members as well, and what role they would have to play. We need to understand, and as well, the financial system, the banks and the credit unions and so on, whether or not they should now be looking at the social intervention issues, maybe, for example, just adopting a whole community, for example, once I'm talking about big business here in general, not the small budding entity, but those who are making substantial profits in the society. All of that are part and parcel of the institutions that needs to be looked at, as we have agreed that there is dysfunctionality with respect to all of those fundamental institutions that are supposed to be institutions of social control. How do you have that individual subscribe to fundamental principles, inculcated and acted out as they move towards being right, proper, decent, law-abiding citizens at the end of the day, not gravitating to a life of crime. So I want to say that I'm very, very, very pleased as to the volume and the variety of different solutions, but focusing on the fact that it's human beings we are dealing with, in institutions that includes, of course, the laws of the land, that if they are well executed, we will be able to have a better Trinidad and Tobago. We have come to the end of today's program. I want to tell you, of course, we will be back tomorrow, but more importantly, the corridor transformation is on. We have a special arrangement. We have a kids corner at 5:30, and then of course at 7:30 I will be on with the adult part of it, so to speak. Joshua, those of you who are would be. We have to go. We have to go. Well, people, of course,
We are out of
be
here.
careful. Be careful on the nation's road. We are out of here. Coming up next is who? Snipes. Come quickly. We have to get them a little
We are
plug.
out of here.
We out of here. You don't know who coming up. You see that me. Don't blame me. All go ahead.
Lennox, we should have been out of here.
5 minutes ago? Oh my goodness. Okay, right.
Your news anytime, anywhere. TTT News brings you the facts that matter most, on air and online. More ways to stay informed. TTT News covers the stories that matter. Join us nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
The Pitti Valley Diego Martin Cluster presents Panyard Crusade 2026 from March 23rd to March 27th from 6:15 p.m. each night with rosary, praise, and worship, featuring 424 Music Ministry, The Seminarians, Cluster Joint Choir, Valley Harps, Valley Angels, and much more. Live at the Valley Harps Panyard, Moncoco Road, Pitti Valley, opposite St. Anthony's RC Church. Guest speakers: Father Isaac Umaru, Father Steve Ransom, Father Robert Christo, Father Matthew Martinez, and Father Leslie Tankai. The Panyard Crusade 2026.
The microphones are down and the boots are laced up. This Good Friday, the top media houses of Trinidad and Tobago are stepping off the air and onto the field. Get ready for the Intermedia Football Cup 2026. Come out and rep your favorite media personalities as they clash for football glory and bragging rights. The best part? It's free. So bring the family, bring your coolers, and don't forget your vibe. Friday, April 3rd, Police Barracks, St. James. It's football, energy, and excitement. Kickoff at 11 a.m. The Intermedia Football Cup 2026, powered by TTT Limited. For more information, like, love, follow us on social media at TTT Live Online. No glass bottles allowed. Intermedia Football Cup 2026. The TTT Intermedia Football Cup 2026, sponsored by Digicel, Sunshine Snacks, Blue Waters, and Stamina Energy.
All right, people. So good morning and welcome to Off the Record. We are here and it's our turn. Them fellas went into to time a little bit. But that's nothing. That nothing, Lennox. We could love you that. You're doing some good work. All right, so we will acknowledge the ground report team, of course. Nigel Snipes, Lennox Smith, and Andy Williams. And Mr. X is back in studio here today alongside me, Stefan Reese. It is Off the Record. And just like yesterday, well, just before I get to that, Off the Record, of course, brought to you through the kind compliments of TN Tech. 8 years of power, past, present, and future. So Tech, and I see Tech in the news today. All right. So as it stands, just like yesterday, we have the Naughty Corner coming up at after the 10 o'clock news. And then after the 11 o'clock news, we have Nobody Knows. All right. And X, you was out yesterday. You're back today. What experiences did you bring with you? You always have some kind of experience. Come down, man.
Good morning to all the people outside there in Radio Land. Good morning and welcome to another edition of Off the Record.
Yes, I.
And I am back inside. I have what business to deal with from time to time, so I wouldn't be around. You know, I'll fill in here, there, and everywhere kind of thing, right? But it is what it is. I have to work it as it comes. And well, today's a good day.
Busy fella.
Today's a nice day. Yeah, but I find I getting real busy these days.
Oh, today's a nice day, boy.
Well, I'm watching.
What make today nice?
I'm watching what's going on, and I'm very, very perturbed. I don't know if Kamala Prasad and them perturbed, or the ministers and them perturbed there, but they're not watching. Well, I shouldn't say they're not watching. I should say that. You know it is to be fighting. You know, imagine you don't want no money, right? You're the coming to government. You're trying to get things in a gear. You have the usual naysayers saying what they had to say. You have the people and them on your side and all coming against you, which is all fine and par for the course. But when the media start to fight you, when the media start to fight you, that is when the problems start. Right?
What fight again in the media?
It looked yesterday and all you read out thing on the minister. This is not the first minister we call that has had erroneous things published about their ministry or their boards
the nurses?
Yes.
Yeah.
They're going back again this morning and make a comment again.
Yeah. No, but he was very clear on it.
They had Khadija Amin, we had Philip, we had several different ministers calling here.
Yeah.
And told us that those stories are not true.
Yeah.
And you have the media pelting you down with some big stone while you're doing your job.
Yeah.
That must be a real frustrating exercise.
That whole Hilton situation too. They try to spin it in a way. And then they went and interviewed Rowley and Randall Mitchell and all kind of thing. But it had a report come out on CNC3 that really establishes where the problem stem from.
Well, that's the problem. The media is not investigating nothing. They're just putting it in the paper, and which is again is part for the course also to be able to get around them. But it puts things in people. Remember, I tell you, I come down in a taxi the other day with different varying thoughts on certain things.
Yeah.
Because they've been exposed to one side of the media.
Yep.
And one side of the coin. A coin has three sides most times. Right?
Right.
The top, the bottom, and the side.
Yes.
Right? So we get differing opinions, and nobody's looking to weigh out anything. It's just a piece of propaganda, you're running with that. Well, and that is a cause for concern because we can't be running a society like that. But then Trump facing it too, because I know listen to the thing on Strait of Hormuz.
Right.
And the 30% of oil that passes through Strait of Hormuz is just partially closed. They charge one ship $2 million to pass through.
Yep.
They're limiting the amount of ships. The allies of Trump getting through.
Yep.
Allies of Iran, in fact, they're getting through. But the other ships and them being blocked. And all kind of mad thing going on. And he had to face the media too. So again,
I know the media ain't too kind to him,
politics just come down to interests and ideologies.
Yes.
Right? So just bear that in mind, people, and pay attention to what the hell going on and try to critically think. We don't critically think in this country here, and that's why we end up in a lot of problems where we are. Because we just take what we get and we run in with it.
Why critically think where they can get your information from, Brian Manning?
God. God, that thought by itself. Make me feel the hurley and bring up a breakfast, yes?
Imagine that, right? Imagine, look at something here. Let me get into the thing, right? We go deal with Berkey's son and everything, right?
Right.
But imagine they went and filed a Freedom of Information Act request to find out what kind of money Watson do gain.
Well, he come out and he said today, $40,000, and which is not really
But you hear how the other, you hear what the others was getting, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying it's not on par anywhere close to what the others were getting before. And I
Shelly
think
Das was getting 125 US an
hour.
hour.
Yeah, man.
An
We talking
hour.
about
Papa,
money.
yo.
One getting $70,000 a month for a year.
70,000 a month for a year, 840,000 for the year. But they want to dig into Watson Duke business. You see how it has backfire on them? They're so cantankerous. They want to do like if the man gets some kind of deal that they pay him some exorbitant amount of money now to try and spin it and say, look, they say they don't have no money, but look, they're going to pay Watson Duke. And when they go now and they get the information, I'm glad they get a whole bundle.
Right.
It's a whole bundle.
And not parts.
And not parts.
Yeah.
You understand?
As usually.
Come to find out now,
people and parts.
Watson working for half the money that all who was under the previous administration was getting.
Right.
And all who was feeding. And this is the problem. Now, I have to say, somehow or the other, the Express has been a little more kind in their reporting than PNM3.
Well,
which they've been renamed PNM3.
My thing is that you have to be very wary as to where you get the information and how you get the information, because the information shapes how we go forward. And Kamala Prasad Bissessa has a work on her hands right now to try to dispel or to manage the communication coming out from where she is.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff, right? Because everybody screenshotting a piece of a document and sending it to the media. Or send it to old source. Or send it to old source.
What on with the TSCT invoices?
Up to now, nothing come out of that.
Exactly. With the Communication Workers Union, the head of the Communication Workers Union, who was bumping, she come and talking all kind of threats.
Joanne Ogier?
Yes, but where she said, I have it yet, I will release it. But releasing, if you have something that fake, it don't matter. If you release it, don't make it real, you know. You understand what I'm saying? So
that's so wary of the press this wrongs, because you have to be very careful at the way
But
to
this is why we hear X. This is why we are here.
It's very disheartening to watch, the direction. Because imagine, in fact, let me not say that on air. I can't say that on air. No, I can't say that on air. No, it have some things I need to reveal, but I had to be careful how I revealing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially about the media and that sort of stuff, right? But at the end of the day, be careful, people, of who you take information from, how you take information, how you digest information. And we wanted to think. Well,
I have
because 4 ministers we have called here. 4.
Look, Barry had to clarify.
Barry and all too,
off. And the nice thing with this show that you must appreciate is we don't plan nothing.
We
just call them on the spot. That is why when David was here yesterday and we called Tim Gopi Singh, Dr. Tim Gopi Singh, the best gynecologist in the Caribbean. we had to plug the man. The man is really rated as the best in the Caribbean.
Yeah, nice job though.
Yeah, that job, well, I don't know, boy. You think that nice job, boy?
I mean,
a gynecologist? I wonder what I'd like, boy.
Yeah,
we feel like they're going through their mind when they do the examination, boy.
That's a normal vagina, I guess.
I guess it depends on the clients, the quality of clients. I don't know.
Well, I guess so.
I don't know. You think they just study that, boy, or it's just like work? It's just like science.
It's just like work. It's just a work.
It's a work, right? Them don't study. There's no
part of the
thoughts just
anatomy.
go through their mind and thing, right? No. Doctors don't think so, man. Right? Especially Dr. Tim. No, he's one of the best. He's one of the best, if not the best, in the Caribbean. I think he's the best gynecologist in the Caribbean. But when we call him yesterday, the first thing he say, like so many others, or they go ambush me like that, boy. And that's how it is. We don't mean to ambush them, but we want you to get a sense of understanding that when we call these people, they could answer on the fly.
Right.
Because
they're not lying. So
they ain't rehearsing nothing. They're nothing rehearsed.
No fresh paint.
Exactly, on the fly. Barry, I ain't lying. Barry really impressed me. The way Barry rattle off everything from the medium, the small solution, the short-term solution, to the medium-term solution, to the long-term solution, all the problems.
Understanding the whole problem and how to fix it.
Exactly. And I see he was down on the ground in some community.
Yeah, I think he was getting out toys.
No, dealing with water problem. He went to meet with the residents to find out.
Okay.
I see Philip Watts going through Mamaral.
Right.
Dealing with water problem. And I was highlighting that video on my program this morning, where people have these barrels outside the house to catch water now. And that's the water they're using to drink and cook and thing with.
I wanna ask most of these people.
And they're on the ground.
I wanna ask most of these people though, where they think the money coming from?
I don't know. I don't know where people feel the money does come from. But the money kind of come from revenue.
Does think at all? You feel the average Joe does study where the money coming from?
No.
Because I hear in some commentary with different people and watching the little polls and the papers and all these different things, right? And some people are thinking, but the others are just being obscure.
It's no cure for stupidity, you know.
Well, yeah, but you have to wonder where the money coming from too. If the woman come in and
they don't have that study. The same way they ain't studying that Balize House could have never built on raffle ticket.
Well,
them ain't studying that. You feel them studying
important.
that? You feel them studying about raffle ticket sell? You feel they do any calculation? But okay, about raffle all right, a raffle ticket was selling for $100. How many raffle tickets would you have to sell to put up $100 million structure?
39,000.
You understand why I'm telling you? I mean, people, listen, this is what you have to do. You have to do the calculation. It's like, if you want to know if the government is overspending or if they are within, look, they bring up a whole issue in the papers the other day with the office of the Prime Minister Christmas dinner. I don't know if you saw it.
Yeah, 160,000.
160,000. But nah.
They're making a bacchanal for that.
But let me tell you where that bacchanal dead. Maybe we'll call it dead. I am a promoter.
Right.
You know that. You just come to my events.
Right.
I just show up free drinks every Christmas. Free drinks.
Right.
With entertainment. And my expenses has been over 100,000.
Right.
Right? When you check the bar bill, the decor, the entertainment, the security, the venue. Right. So when you check all these things, I have about a little over 100,000.
Right.
Good? And that is with free drinks and people that are buy food, eh?
Right.
Right. So at the office of the Prime Minister, and I talking about that for 400 and some people.
Right.
So the office of the Prime Minister have a Christmas dinner. And it comes up to 160,000 and only 4,000 pay. I think they only pay $4,000 out of all the bills. I think they still owe it, right?
Right.
According to the article. So they didn't pay the bill yet because they didn't have money to pay the bill, right?
Right.
They say from what they see in terms of the caterers and so on and so forth, the office went with the lowest bids.
Right.
So they went with the people that charge the least. Yeah, that's what I'm telling you.
Right.
We talking food. We talking decor. We talking service. Because you must have there is service and security and all these little things, right? Man, 160. If all you could talk about is $160,000 for our OPM Christmas dinner, you have nothing to talk about.
Well, I wasn't that, so.
Eh?
I wasn't part of that.
You was in that? You was in that? You eat
I wasn't
shrimps?
sure them.
You eat shrimps?
Yeah, shrimps, yeah.
Shrimps, eh?
Shrimps
oh,
and
God,
steak.
boy. And steak? Surf and turf? Oh, God. Did you drink champagne too?
That's kidding.
You had champagne? No champagne. All right, no problem. No, but I'm just saying, if that is all you could talk about, if that is all you could report on, I look at some of the reports in the paper this weekend, and I was like, the media have nothing to talk about. Because some of the conversation just petty. It just, and I am taking the position of the Prime Minister. I love the Prime Minister. Let me tell you why I love the Prime Minister. I want to read you a little thing what she say here.
Is this she bothered?
Well, she said, it's how she said, eh? She said, she said, it may seem on the surface that I am unbothered when Rowley and the PNM trolls say these nasty things about me. But the truth is that deep down inside, I am very, very, very unbothered. No, I think she tackled them the right way. I think she handled them the right way.
And her experience is showing in a lot of instances.
Yeah, so I think
she beaten them nicely.
She beaten them, yes. Look how much
them nicely too.
They could say what they want, right? Look how much bacchanal that one accusation caused.
Right.
That Balize House was built with drug money. Look where erupt after. Look where erupt out of that.
Everybody said that jump on yourself.
Everybody all of a sudden they get like ants in their pants.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm telling you? And that's just
and all with your annoying voice.
Oh gosh, boy.
God.
Yeah, boy.
She like Naila Suka
Oh,
mosquito.
God, boy. I tell it. Oh, God, yeah. Hey, we are, what are we, 20
Hey,
minutes
I hear my
past?
name call you. Hey, by the way, thanks a lot, Mr. Welsh, yesterday for holding it down for me.
Yeah, man.
You did a fantastic job. But I hear all you call my name in the
In the naughty
in the naughty
corner.
corner. What can put in naughty corner for the here?
Somebody put in the what they put in the
For
naughty
curry or
corner about,
something?
boy, is something. I can't, no, Welch was talking about something with some roti he didn't get from his sister.
Yeah.
And then somebody calling, foreign news calling, I think it's foreign news call, and talk about something with curry with you, you know.
Yeah. I
think
had
it's
10
foreign
curry
news.
and 8 was bad.
And 8 was bad.
Yeah.
I
8
think
was
it's-
bad. No,
I think
seriously. 8 was really bad, boy. Oh, God, boy, it was ridiculous, boy.
Nah, serious thing.
Yeah, if I leave in
now
back
the naughty
curry.
corner, but nice yesterday, boy. Look, ready for the
Yeah.
naughty corner at 10, right after the 10 o'clock news. So think about who in your naughty corner this morning. And
We are
remember,
whips
you
and
have a
dogs
reason.
and thing. We are whips and
We are
dogs and thing.
whip, we are whip hunting. We
No,
are
you
whip,
doing,
we are
no,
whip,
you
we are
doing.
whip, we are whip. We have a whip, and we have a cloud.
Right,
We have
great.
a whip and a cloud. So you
Great.
either get a whip or a cloud. All right. Waiting about Berkey's son, boy.
He just goes back to how to put it, to what I've been speaking about for the longest while about children, about being part of the fallout, because I think that was one of his sons that was doing very well in school. From ever since he was small, he was doing very well in school.
Right. But he was playing football and thing.
Scholarship
Yeah.
type qualifications
Yeah, that he was
from that
playing
youth
football and
man,
thing, yeah.
and it's just guilt by association, or you know how that would go, right? Because of your father's legacy and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know what are the circumstances that got him killed, but 3 of them were gunned down in a house in Penal, which
Yeah.
because his father never liked him to be down
Up in still outside.
His father never liked him to be up on that side.
Also, he sent him on Penal.
Yes, he
But
sent
the
him
problem
away
is
from-
Penal is a hotspot.
Well, imagine that.
Penal is a hotspot.
You can imagine that?
Yes, Penal is a hotspot. I've been saying that. I've been saying that for the last 6 years.
Well,
look at what thing happening in Penal.
And he's a young guy. I don't think he wasn't anything per se. Normal children, teenagers
so this-
kind of thing. But outside of that,
Yeah, he wasn't no bad man
we
thing.
don't know him into any Batman thing kind of scenario. But it's unfortunate that he would have lost his life. And as it happened, McGill sent my note on it. Juvenile delinquency problem expressing itself in crime and criminality.
Yeah.
Yeah, she sent me that note and said, unfortunate,
But I was watching something, and I was watching the 17 years old, 21 and 22, right? And I was saying this one, I said, look at that, boy. And I just wanted to let the young people out there know, and even the elders who have a little influence on young people, but they really don't take the opportunity to connect with them, right? In my experience, right, I had a partner named Darwin Caesar. Caesar was the big man up in Kandahar,
All right.
right, back in the day. And and all it took, men had fear of Darwin, they had respect him. So you had the respect and you had the fear factor.
All right.
And all it took was a youth man to walk up behind him at night and power bullet in the back of his head.
All right.
And he dropped down dead on the ground in the road in Kandahar like a dog. Right? And that was the end of that. That was the end of that. As much as
And I can tell
he
you
was
about
feared
10
and respected.
And I can tell you about 10 stories like that.
Right.
Exactly like that.
And this is the point. The point is, when you get into that kind of lifestyle, it only have one end, It ain't no happily ever after,
No,
it's-
don't know man jumping in a taxi and going to work taxi after you're going on people when the night come. It don't work
Exactly. It don't work like that. This is the end result. And the youths have to understand that you are now, when you reach the age of 14, 15, you don't know nothing about life. You know about life.
You're feeling about life.
You understand? You know starting to get little feelings to go behind girl. You didn't even know about life.
Right.
Right? And I'm saying, you ain't travel yet. You ain't even reach the point of reaching the age to jump on a plane and go and see the
17,
world.
20, and 21. Them now start to live.
They now start to live.
Them ain't really see
And that's
life
it.
properly yet.
And that's it. And I'm saying to you, when you're that age, the wants and the needs that that you require at that age is very different to when you're older. When you're older, your perspective on life changes, and your needs and your wants become different now.
All right.
As you mature, you start to think differently. You even start to act differently. If you used to drink plenty alcohol, you cut back. You understand what I'm saying? If you used to smoke cigarette, you stop or you ease up, or things like that now, because you come to realize, well, okay, you're getting older, and you have a different perspective on life. And then if you travel too, and you leave Trinidad, like how you have left Trinidad on several occasions, maybe that is why at your age and your young age, when you was traveling all over the place, going to Azerbaijan and all these places, and eating shrimps there too. I just say, when you were traveling there, you would have seen, remember you're coming out, you're leaving a dot on the map, eh?
Right.
Trinidad is a dot. And you're leaving that dot to go to places that are way bigger, larger population size, everything just bigger.
All right.
And then you see things. And your ideas start to, if you're a thinker, your mind start to goes crazy now because you're studying weight now. We do have this so back home, and I could do this, and I could invest in that, and this could be, and I could make money off of this, and I could make money off of that.
All right.
And you start to get little ideas and concepts that you could apply in your life when you go back home and make a dollar and you know, create business and earnings and that kind of thing, right? So when you're in that lifestyle from a very young age and you get a criminal record and you can't travel and that kind of thing because you have a criminal record, you miss out on so many experiences in life. And when you see a 17, a 21, and a 22, like X now said, them fellas now start to live. They don't even know what life is.
And the life get cut short.
That's right, because the choices that they may have made, but or association that they may have had.
And you don't get to leave a legacy also.
And that's the next thing too.
But if you have no children, you left no legacy when you disappear so early in life. You know, so that is another problem too.
That next
in terms
problem,
of the
yeah.
population expanding itself and bringing forward a seed that you know that is a good citizen and whatever. Because I know for a fact that Bucky didn't used to let him come in tongue and associate in that kind of environment in tongue.
Right.
You know, so he was always on his books and he always make sure that his son, that one son, had it going on, you know, at one time. But
let me ask you something. Fellas in the community, right? When you're growing up in a community and all right, let me say you're growing up in a community with a man like Bucky at the helm and Dole. Remember Dole get lick up too.
Yeah.
Right? As a youth man that looking up to them fellas and seeing them as either role model or the big man.
Right.
When them fellas get lick up, nothing don't dawn on, you don't start to think about wait now. If it could happen to them.
A good punching and a roll on, let's fix that. A punching and a roll on, let's fix that.
Nah, boy.
Nice. You sit down with your punching and a roll on and you just continue the movement.
Nah, boy.
It is what it is. It's as simple as
I
that.
said, boy, a punching and a roll on, boy.
A punching and a roll on, and that's cool.
And I said, boy, everything back to normal.
Celebrate,
boy.
raise a toast, and next in line.
Nah,
it is
boy,
what it is.
How that old life will be so, boy?
It is what it is. But been like that for however long. I tell you, no, listen, Martin Joseph. And before that too,
Yeah.
But I just drawing from Martin Joseph time. Come forward. We have those youths that are adults today.
Yeah.
They are the 18 to 23-year-olds today from since Martin Joseph time.
Yeah.
All they watch what the hell going on, you know. All they not paying attention to what the hell going on, you know. Since Martin Joseph time, we have the 18 to 23-year-olds today in 2026 that are robbing, disrespecting people, getting themselves involved in. All of them, most of them, are fallouts in society because some of them would have gotten a good intervention somewhere. Somebody would have picked them up. Somebody would have seen the talent as a footballer. Some of them might have get an aunt and uncle who well off and wanted to take care of them.
Right.
And all these different, right? So they fall into a all right groove with two good parents or substitute parents, you know, and they start to get a life together.